Hello, everyone. Dustin is running late. Woo, what do you know? Anyway, I'll go through the chat while we're waiting on him. He did message me and said he's coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. United Carnivore, thank you for joining us. Hello, greetings from Tampa Bay. Carrie said the boat pulled up to the live stream. Very good. There's a little catitude today, says the black cat. Hello, Sherry. Hello, two of my favorite people. Well, one of them, the other one, you know. Hey, Sherry, you're number one. Yep. Wahoo. Rockin' Keto Amy. Hi, Sherry and Brenda. Hi, Dustin and Cindy. Well, hello. Hey, Amy and Lynn. Hi, Cindy and Dustin. Looks like double trouble with you two. It'd be a real what the hell kind of night. That's right. Woo, I don't know what he's got up his sleeve with his thumbnail. I didn't do anything. Hi, Sherry, Brenda, and Amy. Hello. This says, hey, everyone, I'm on both of your channels to predict a fun night. I hope so. Yep. Yeah, you love Dustin's thumbnail. Mine are always pretty plain. He's crazy. What the hell already, Dustin? That's right. And you're here too. Good. Yay. Hello, Brenda. We missed you Wednesday. Butterballs. Yeah, I haven't tried them yet, but I bought them. Excuse me, they're in the refrigerator. Told my husband we were out. I said, we got to go to Walmart. Hello, Stacy. Hello to the Hail Gang. All the Hail Raisers are in the house and then some. And Brian's here in the other room. Yep. Good evening, all. Holy cow. Holy cow.
So I'm late. What do you want from me?
He finally showed up.
Yeah.
So what the deal? Hello, Dustin. How are you?
What the hell, Cindy?
Look at my shirt.
Keto Hi-yo.
That was the first time I met you.
And you regretted it ever since, huh?
You ain't lying. Everybody's just saying hi. Hi. They said hi to you, but you weren't here. So,
hi,
you know.
Hi.
My sister, she's home. She was at Tai Chi.
Deb!
Yes. Holy cow. Everybody's saying hello. Jerry's here. Hey. Happy Friday the 13th. My mother's favorite day.
It is a good day.
Does that bother you, Dustin? It doesn't me.
What?
I know we talked about it earlier, about Friday the 13th.
I enjoy it because I know where the superstition comes from, and I like it.
Where does it come from?
It originates from the Knights Templar during the Crusades. So the folklore is that the concerted effort to get rid of the Templars was an attack all at one time, all in one day, Friday the 13th, and like 15 something or 12 something, whenever the Crusades were.
You're part of the crusade and you don't know that?
I mean the original one, not the newfangled one that we're involved in.
I'm just kidding. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to bring up so I can see my chat because I'm not seeing anything right now.
Well, that's because you use some funkiness.
I do what I want.
Stacy said he's probably at Costco.
I was at Costco, but I got home in time to put stuff away. And as I was putting stuff away, Chandra calls me and she's on her way home.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm hungry. I didn't get to eat my lunch today. So she's gone since 6 a.m. or what, since, we got up and got to work without anything. So she's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I don't have time to cook you anything, but maybe a couple of eggs. And I'm looking at the time and it's just counting down and trying to throw them in the pan. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like,
Evelyn's
Cindy's
here,
gonna yell at
resting in the
me.
stateroom. Resting in her stateroom. Hope
So
you guys have
have
a
they already
great
set sail?
vacation. That I don't know. Have you guys set sail yet? Tony Delisle is here. Hello, watching from Gatlinburg.
Oh yeah, that's Daddy Delisle or Papa Delisle. I don't know what we should call him. I don't know if he wants us to call
Tony,
it. I feel weird calling him Tony. I don't know him.
Mr. Delisle to you because you're just youngin. You're a youngin.
Mm-hmm. Booby goats.
Yep, Erin's here. I already got on her because she popped in on your channel.
What?
I said, you're on the wrong channel, man. So then she went
Well,
on
at least
both.
go to my channel and hit like or something. You know what I mean? Give me a view.
They're on both. They're on
Oh,
both.
that's good. I like that.
Chill, man. Hey, Jerry, I see you are on Twitter too, right? Or X. X.
Yeah.
Because they're so bad.
Bad.
Hello, everyone. Karen's here. Low carb spin. Here's my old lady O. Hi, everyone. That's
Hello,
from your
lady.
channel. Yep. Lynn. Sean's here. Brian. Hello from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I guess that's what that means.
I've been to Pittsburgh. I went to a Penguins game in Pittsburgh once.
Yeah, Debbie and I drove her daughter years ago from Cincinnati to Pittsburgh, where she went for the weekend for to the Art Institute. And on the trip there and back, man, we had a blast. We got in so much trouble. We about got thrown out of a restaurant for laughing too loud. It was a great time.
And you give me a hard time.
Yep, I never did much. Hope you're having a good trip, Evelyn. Yes. I told Brenda she was missed Wednesday, as were you, not in the live stream. She fell asleep. Lynn. Yeah, Jerry
what did Jerry
won
win?
this morning on Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson and Alia's live stream.
Yeah.
I think she won meat and something else. I forget.
I was in that chat for just a minute. I was in the chat while in the morning trying to get Chandra out the door. Then I had to put the girl to sleep. So
I'm going to be on there.
I will be too eventually. It's like it just keeps going further and further. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to logistically being on that show is going to be difficult for me because it's at 6 a.m. and it's like right when they get here.
Yep. It's like I'm going to be on August 12th. And I'm going to be on Dr. Nelson's July 8th at 3 in the afternoon. Wild.
What the hell?
It's wild, man.
Look at you getting all popular and stuff.
No, my numbers don't show it.
That doesn't matter.
It is what it is. I
got my little box from Keto Bar today or Carnivore Bar today.
Yeah, I've had a box of those that I bought a long time ago. I haven't even taken one out of the box.
Well, allegedly they last forever, right?
Yep. Shelf stable. I don't see the jack for the hail raisers. Karen, Evelyn is on the ship in her stateroom.
I'm guessing they got the Wi-Fi package.
No, it's RAISCRS. But yes, they named, my sister did that. We were talking about one Wednesday, somebody was talking about hailstones and hail this, and everybody kept saying, what are you going to call your group? I said family. And then everybody's like, hailstones, hail this, hail that. Debbie said, how about hail raisers? I said, that's perfect. The beard is in the house.
Good evening, Jerry. Evelyn.
We are on the ship. We leave the dock in half an hour. There you go.
Is this your first cruise, Evelyn?
I have to check for her answer. Got the live feed on for both of you. You are so sweet. Hello, Debbie. Dustin had to get out of his dress and get into his big boy pants.
I mean, it's not wrong, you know.
Yeah, it is exciting. I've never been on a cruise, and I don't think I ever want to.
I want to go on a cruise. I would love to go on a cruise if there was like 20, 30 people there that I would know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have like a whole week to mingle and hang out and chit chat and shoot the breeze and sit in the hot tub and have a good time and just hang out with. Because I feel like no matter even like a KPL type situation or a meetup, like 5-6 hours or 3 days is never truly enough.
Right.
And that, but I would have a way that I could go back to my stateroom or whatever, and then just kind of zonk out whenever I want to, and then we can go and be together or not. Because I mean, there's enough room on the ship. It's a floating city.
Yeah. She won meat and supplements on Kilts' Live. Nice. I know yesterday I was in there and they were giving away a ticket to the meetup in Syracuse, I think. It's coming up. I don't know. I didn't win, so.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that. I wanted to go to that meetup last weekend, but like it was like 3.5 hours, and I tried to get Jennifer Lucas to go with me, but she was worried about her mobility there.
Right.
And her
I mean,
scooter and how her scooter would perform there.
Mm-hmm. That would be hard for her.
Yeah.
You got to get all those statistics figured out. Do what?
And I didn't want to go by myself because it's nice going with somebody else to split the gas money.
I have Brian to come with me, and we don't split no gas money. 3.5 hours to come up there.
Well, I mean, it's different together.
Got awesome news today. Daughter may be moving from Montana to Ohio, 3 hours away. That's awesome, Brenda. Fingers crossed.
Love that.
Fingers crossed. Rick, you're the man, dude. Hello.
Thank you, Rick. Rick is the man. He really is.
He is. He's super nice too. Well, we met him in New Hampshire. He was great. He is great. Hello to both Debbies on both channels. I see the Luck Girl is in. Hello, Jerry. Tony saying hi to everybody. You're a channel hog too, Rick, huh? Being on both of them. So everybody just saying hi, hi, hi. Let's see if anything else is going on real quick. Jerry said I was pumped. Payback reward for getting Cindy to go on Kilts the day before to schedule 2 lives with Dr. Nelson and Kilts.
I've been on with Alia before, but I've never been on with Kilts, and I don't really know much about Dr. Nelson. I don't know much about Dr. Kilts, to be honest with you, either.
His channel, Dr. Nelson's channel, I mean, he's very small. He doesn't have a lot of subscribers, which is surprising. But he had reached out to me on a Wednesday live stream and then emailed me about coming on. And I've had Alia on mine a while back. God, quite a long time ago now.
Did you ever do Dave Mack? Are you going to be on his channel or anything?
I have not, and I've not been asked. So
we just sent him an email. I
need to reach out to
like
him.
5 a day.
I'm trying to get Dr. Kilts on with me, but it's like he is ridiculously busy. And yeah.
Now, the thing with Dave Mack is he is in Japan. So you reach out to him, and because I followed him and he was asking for people, and I was like, I'd love to be on your channel. And he goes, email me and we'll work out a date. So I mean, because he does like 5 interviews a day.
I'm sure. Sarah says calling Tony Papa would be weird for me. I think I'm older than he is. Same. I probably am too. It's crazy. All you youngsters, youngins, both computers going very good, Carrie. There's a lot of, yes, PA. That's what I thought. 2 Dell computers, and since they are a Dell, the singing is something else.
Oh,
James is here. Good morning, James. Good evening, James. See, I'm tired. It's been a long day, man. Woo! Penguins. No, penguins are cute, not black.
no, we're talking about the sports team.
The sports
Well,
team is fine.
we don't have a professional hockey team, so I can like whoever I want.
I don't get into sports, so
We got the Pacers in playoff game 4 tonight. We're up 2-1.
oh yeah.
It's the first time the Pacers have been in the finals in 25 years.
Jerry says we need a Zoom like the Brady Bunch squares.
If Zoom wasn't such a terrible program, I would love doing that. But it's an awful, awful program because it just shuts my computer down. Like anytime I do a Zoom call with a friend of mine, I have trouble doing live streams for like 2 days after.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. All the trouble I have with my computer from Zoom calls.
That's what Dr. Baker used when he interviewed me is Zoom. And there wasn't any issue with it. It was a long time ago. It was back in 22 already.
Lindy's here, Lindy and Sherry and Amy and all these wonderful people.
I
Matt
know.
Franklin's in the house.
Yep. I haven't gotten back that far. I'm trying to get through it. There you go. Cindy is popular. Fact. I'm going backward now. The Knights Templar were arrested on Friday the 13th. Oh, under orders from King Philip of France, which contributed to the superstition surrounding that date. However, the belief that Friday, the 13th is unlucky. Yeah.
It was unlucky if you were a Knights Templar. But I mean, a lot of that stuff is all passed down from, it's all spoken history.
Okay,
but I mean,
I'm missing a lot of this chat. Anyway, I can't keep doing it.
That's what I love. Do you ever read any Dan Brown books?
I have a long time ago. Do I remember it? No.
They were good books. I think they were good and detailed, and there was history, like fact mixed in with the fiction, and he really explained a lot of the things like what the floors in the Louvre look like and all that. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, he goes into great detail about the Knights Templar in that book, whether it's accurate or not, or as accurate as we truly know. But and do you have questions for me, or are we just going to hang out and chill?
We're just going to hang out and chill.
Okay.
What the heck would I have to ask you?
I don't know.
How was your day yesterday with your daughter's birthday? How was beef, butter, bacon, and eggs yesterday?
It was good until we had popcorn at the movie theater. I knew this month is difficult for us, and that's what we tried to be upfront and honest about. You know, because at least her birthday was just popcorn, and it wasn't like
why did you choose this month, knowing all that was coming?
Well, this isn't even a challenge for me. This is a transition for me for the long run, really. This isn't necessarily just a challenge like I'm only going to do it for June. This is what I'm planning to do from now on until something else happens.
Got it.
Because I feel better living this lifestyle, knowing the obstacles that I have coming into this month with my birthday, Shander's birthday, my aunt's birthday, daughter's birthday. It's the month my mom passed away. It's just all those weird little dates that all kind of accumulate in June. I
saw that. That's sad.
Yeah. It happened the day after my aunt's birthday. So she's, her birthday, and then her sister passed away the next day.
Oh, dang. Same year?
12 years ago. So my mom passed away 12 years ago, but my aunt's older than her. My aunt was older, so my aunt's still around.
Good.
And that's why I'll be going to her house instead of going to Andy's house on the 28th. or Andy's meetup because my aunt is doing a graduation party for my cousin's little girl. Well, she's not so little anymore, but she's graduating high school, and they live in I don't know, somewhere middle of nowhere, Virginia, and they're coming in town. I haven't seen them in I don't think I've seen them since my grandmother passed away almost 3 years ago.
Wow.
It's been a while since I've seen them. So because they don't make it here very often.
Family is definitely more important, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
My ship nickname is Evil Lynn. Thought y'all might appreciate that. That's sad. You tagged her on that. That's bad.
Why? It's fun.
It's gosh. She don't have an evil bone in her body.
That's what makes it fun because it's not true.
You're crazy.
Let me calling you tall or something. You know what I mean? Like
that's a lie. That's just an outright lie. Sean wants to know, what was that shampoo commercial? And they tell two friends and they tell two friends and so on. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I never read into all that kind of stuff. You know?
Sounds like
a very simple life. Speaking of bars, PB beef tallow bars are coming soon from Keto Brick. Peanut butter. I got that message too. Blech. Now that's a blech. They're taking keto bricks and making butter bites with them. I put a post in the chat for Friday the 13th. We got it. Got it.
Love it.
Oh, that's on here probably.
I think they're on the cruise with their girls.
I don't think the girls were going. I just heard Carl and everybody else that's going.
Oh, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
I don't think so. I've only been on one cruise, but boy, was it awesome. So much fun. Well, you should go again if you like it, girl. Yeah. I'm afraid I would get seasick, and then that would be the worst trip. Plus, I don't have a passport. I don't intend to get one.
I mean, it'll last 10 years. So, I mean, really,
listen, I've been at the post office a lot, and I've seen $160, $170 for a freaking passport. No.
Well, I know we're going to have to get a passport because eventually we're going to have to take a certain little girl to Paris because she wants to go to Paris so bad. Thank you, Fancy Nancy. And I want to go to Europe, and I want to go because you can go to France and go to Paris and hop on a train that takes you through the channel, and you're like in England. And I mean, crossing like the entirety of Europe is like just kind of milling around in Texas.
Your whole system just got off track. Our cruise went to Nassau. Do what?
What happened?
You're off. You're talking
always.
Yeah, we see it. Yeah, you're off your rocker, but the voice is off of your movement. Too much things on there. Too many things.
I don't have. This is your things running this, not mine.
But my side is okay. Jerry says, "Hey, Officer Cindy, is it okay to have a beef tallow bar this month?" Asking for a friend. She's asked everything for a friend. That's a whole different thing. That's funny. So, other than your birthday, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs is your plan, and then ongoing, possibly.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, that's just how I feel the best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier for me
because
I'm lazy. I mean, let's be real, because I try to pack so much into my day. Worrying about or spending so much time on what I'm going to eat is kind of a waste for me. Mm-hmm. If I could just throw some frozen burger patties into a hot skillet, flip them once, put them on a plate, scramble up some eggs, and I can spend maybe 2 hours one day and bake up like 6 pounds of bacon, put that in the fridge, and I'm good.
Yeah.
But I don't even need bacon all the time. I just really beef and eggs. Bacon is just kind of to mix it up some.
Yeah.
Or some
You know
pork
what?
belly, whatever.
You know what I'm going to do? We went to the store today and we bought some hot dogs. All beef. There's no corn syrup. There's no dextrose. There's no crap in it. I'm going to take ground beef, wrap it around the hot dog, and pork rinds. Good for beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, or no?
I don't see why not. It's basically pork skin,
Right.
which is basically, I mean, bacon is pork belly, but I mean, I think if you need it, you need it. If you don't, you don't.
I don't need it per se. But what I want to do is once I wrap those in ground beef, I want to dip them in butter and then Neely's breading mix, which is egg white powder, gelatin, and pork rind crumbs. And that mixture sticks to anything. It crisps everything up. It doesn't fall off of your food like most breadings do. Oh, it's so good. If not, I'll just do it without the, and just do the ground beef around the hot dog and air fry them. That's a plan. I'm going to try it. You see, I made waffles the other day
Mm-hmm.
with just ground beef and eggs.
What did you think of those?
They were good. It's eggy, but it's going to be, like I said in my video, it's eggs. But I took a little of the bacon that I burnt and I chopped it up and I put it in with the eggs. I put the already browned ground beef on the mini dashes and then poured the egg mixture on them. They were good. It's like something different,
I have a plan to make carnivore. I use this loosely because I don't want to get attacked. But the carnivore cinnamon rolls. So what I'm gonna do is take pork sausage. Now this doesn't fit with triple B and E, but I do have the plan.
I was just gonna say that's the first thing out of my mind. Out of my mouth. That's not beef, butter, bacon, and eggs.
Do it today or whatever, but it's in a plan that I want to make these. Take pork sausage, mix in allulose, mix in like some cinnamon into the pork sausage, and then you lay out strips of bacon, and you basically like take little tubes of pack your bacon, then roll the bacon up so they're about like that big, and then I'm going to put them in some like little silicone molds so they stay together, and then just bake them at a temperature as low as my oven will go. Because I've got a smoker, but I don't want to. I mean, it's so silly to pull that thing out. It's irritating.
It can't, man. I done lost everything here. What the crap? I don't know. I'm trying to find her comment. Wow, there it is.
Gotta be quicker than that.
We're like way behind on the chat, man.
It's
and I've been trying to keep up with it. That I've never been on a cruise. Was the Alaskan cruise very expensive? All cruises are expensive to me. So if you're asking me, that's probably the wrong person. They're expensive. Did you see Lindy is here?
I saw Lindy is here.
Amy said, I run my live streams on the same computer. I run my live streams on my desktop on Fridays, my laptop on Wednesdays, and everything else is on my phone. Yeah, Miss Lindy is only on your channel. What the heck?
What the hell?
Wow. Yeah, what the hell is right? That's like messed up, Miss Lindy. I love you. Sherry, 13 is her favorite number. Popcorn is Sherry's guilty pleasure. I'm just very careful with all of my other food for that day when I eat it.
I kind of figure like popcorn really like, I don't think anybody's ever like gotten fat and sick because of popcorn. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody's eaten themselves to death with just popcorn. And I mean,
I got big because I ate a lot of everything.
well, that's the thing is I ate a lot, but it wasn't the popcorn that did it. It wasn't, like it was because I ate packages of Oreos and half gallons of ice cream and
Candy
boxes of
bars,
corn dogs.
candy bars,
Yeah.
ice cream. Those were my things. But I never got sick. I mean, I had high blood pressure for a very long time, but I wasn't sick, as far as that goes. I felt fine. At 300 pounds, I felt fine. My A1C was just checked right after I started keto, and it was just over the normal range, just over it. I think that was the first time it was ever taken, that was ever tested. And it was like, okay, I feel a lot better now, but I never did get sick. Even with the keto flu, when I started all in 20 total or less carbs daily, right off the bat, from SAD to that. Never got the keto flu, nothing. And this Lisa did a sardine protocol for 4 days and added that's a double blip. Hello, Sherry. Long time no
Sherry.
see. Swish, here I come sliding into live. I'm so happy to watch you too. Thank you. Glad you're here.
Welcome. Join us, shall you?
Yes. Amy said, I can't do these challenges in the summer, too much going on. I can plan fasting on days I don't have social events and eat keto on party days. I don't have a life, so it's easy for me. It's easy for me to stay that way. She picked a poopy month to do beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, Dustin. You did.
Well, I wasn't even going to do it at all, but then I'm like, well, I wasn't going to do it's not like, I never even said it was a challenge. To me, it's just, this is my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel my best. Now, am I perfect? No. And I mean, I've been very forthright with that, especially this month. July is a lot better month for me. There's hardly nothing going on in July. August will be relatively simple. September will be fine. October will be good until we go on vacation for like 2 weeks.
Yep. It's tough sometimes. It can be. That meetup, Andy and Susan's meetup, is right at the tail end of my beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, unless I continue it on.
Right.
So you know what I got to do? I got to bring me something I can eat or just fast.
She brought me a big container of pumpkin soup, sausage pumpkin soup. It's in my fridge right now.
Yeah, that's not beef, butter, bacon, and eggs either.
I mean, I just don't think to me, like, it's just, it's impossible.
I'm telling you, you got to be you got to get your mindset in the right space and say, either, okay, I'm going to do this. My sister is struggling. She agreed to do it this month and she is struggling. She loves her vegetables and she has she went out with her friends Wednesday. Her and her friends get together every Wednesday for lunch. And they take turns choosing a restaurant. And the person whose turn it was chose a Mexican restaurant. So she had fajitas without the tortillas, but she had some peppers. And it was like, she said, I messed up a little bit, but I got right back on it for dinner. So it's okay. And she's really struggling because she's never done any type of long challenge in the 4.5 years, almost 5 years now that she's been doing keto. Amy said it's raining in Mishawaka. Nancy Tanner is here. Hello, everyone. Sorry I forgot you're live. Just got home from an 18-mile bike ride. Woo, I'm tired already. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Ash Taylor is here. Hello,
Yes.
Ash. Two of my favorite people doing a live stream together. Hello, friends.
They're in the studio today, I thought. At least they're posting photos. Maybe they were in the studio yesterday.
Yep. And that's another one on your channel. What the heck, folks?
Hail! The proper word is hail. All right. I saw
Right.
this and I was waiting. So it says, Dustin, how can I ask this? Amy and I wanted you to join us in the WhatsApp creators group. Cindy, Lindy, Chanel, and Andy are two. One. I thought I was. I'm on the WhatsApp, but I don't know. Let me look at my phone.
You weren't communicating.
Well, it doesn't tell me anything. How am I supposed to know?
You weren't joining in on the chat. Andy started that to try to boost creators' channels. And yeah, I know Amy's in there. Love Cindy. I like Cindy loving sardines. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Is it the YouTube influencers and creators? I don't know.
Yeah, Jerry sent you the invite. You came in. Nothing was you weren't commenting or anything. And I think Andy took you out. He knocked your butt out.
I mean, that's the only reason I have WhatsApp. I don't even know how to use it yet.
I got it for this, and it's really cool because you don't have all the stuff, but it's just very direct. And
I don't even use WhatsApp. Okay, this is my WhatsApp, and it's just loaded with stuff. I don't even know what all this stuff is.
I don't either. My phone's in the other room. All I have is that chat on WhatsApp because I just started it just for that.
Well, the thing is Chandra's parents use WhatsApp, so I have them on there. But then I have all these other, I don't even know what's going on. They removed me from the group, which you got to give me a little time. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of weird to put me in a group and I don't say something for I don't know how many days you take me out. That's weird. That's some passive aggressive stuff. I mean, I don't even know what's going on with the group. I don't even get notifications. I don't know what's going on. I'm not being, I don't know. That kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. I didn't mean to do. I don't even know what's going on.
Well, we'll get you back in there. You just got to be.
Well, I got to know that there's things going on.
Oh, they come up. They come up. You'll see. Well, you got so much on there, you wouldn't even know.
Almost anything I do in this. Otherwise, if I had notifications turned on and everything, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing ever.
Oh, trust me.
So
I've got a lot of mine turned off. I just check it all the time. Jerry says Cindy pukes. Sardines. Yuck. Chris is finishing up dinner. Are we shocked he's in the kitchen
cooking? He sent me a photo of it.
I'll bet. He's a master in the kitchen, that's for sure. Good evening, everyone. Lisa loves cruises. Sounds nice.
Boy, what's rude?
Jerry says you're off, Dustin.
I get it, but I didn't even know I was on. I'm like, I was out before I knew I was in. Sounds like a teenage problem. Anyway.
Behave. Jerry says beef, butter, bacon, and eggs drops the pounds. Sometimes. Dustin's audio is timed with the video. It's like watching a Japanese movie with English dubbed in. Oops, not timed.
Yeah.
That was better. It must have corrected itself. YouTube's so crazy. Came over to your channel, Dustin, so I could give you a thumbs up and said I was unsubscribed. Then I had to wait because it wouldn't let me comment right away. Just saying.
Well, I always set my my chats on these to 5 minutes. You to be a subscriber for 5 minutes. It just kind of weeds out the riffraff. Mm-hmm. Riffraff like Karen. I'm just kidding.
No. No. Hello, Thomas. You can also just wrap it with bacon. What, the ground beef and the hot dog? I thought about that, but I want to do something different. Of course. Chris is in the house. Hey, crew, how we doing? How are you doing?
Yeah.
That old brat, he's on your channel too. I love you guys. It's a good thing because, Strindberg Acres laughing my butt off. I didn't think there was anything wrong with pork, just lower fat. If you put bacon on it and butter, you can raise the fat. Yeah, I ain't worried about raising the fat. I still have a lot of my own to get rid of. Beef ribs with chimichurri and toasted cream oysters for dinner tonight. What y'all having? I don't know. I might not eat. I had.
I was at
We didn't
Costco,
eat.
thought about getting a couple of hot dogs from Costco, but I was like, nah. But I thought
You
about
really got to really check the ingredients on. I mean, you're talking at Costco at the restaurant part.
it. Yeah.
But I was searching for hot dogs, and there were beef, and didn't have the corn syrup in them or the dextrose in them, and I found them. There's Nathan's and Hebrew National. Neither one of those have those in there.
Well, Hebrew Nationals I looked at before had just corn syrup in them.
They didn't this time.
Really? Because every time
Yeah.
I looked at it, like Hebrew Nationals were high in carbs.
Yeah, trust me, I read the packaging. I've got it in the trash because I divided it up into smaller groups.
Did you get them at Costco?
No, I got them at Walmart.
Maybe they
Love
cleaned them
using
up.
the smoker. Yep. I love using the smoker. I'm doing a summer smoker video series. Very good. A ham looked good the other day. Nabbit. I love ham.
I'm pulling it up now. I'm looking here out and trying to says, all right, so here's what this shows me here. Maybe I'll start buying Hebrew Nationals because it says it does contain soy. 100% kosher beef hot dog. I don't know how could you be 100% kosher beef if you got soy in there too? Kosher beef water contains 2% or less of salt, spices, sodium lactate, paprika, hydrolyzed soy protein. Why would you put that in there? Garlic powder, sodium diacetate, sodium erythroborbate, something like that, erythrobate. Flavoring, sodium nitrate, contains soy. They used to contain
corn syrup.
Yeah, they used to. That's why I never
Most
bought
all
them
of
from
them
Costco.
do. We checked so many different ones on the shelf.
That's why I just buy, and I know it's not good, but I keep the Oscar Mayer, just the wieners. You get a 2-pack box for $4.99 at Walmart.
You got to go for the money, but it's like they're ones that have corn syrup, and because I've had those in my hand, and then I looked at so many of them, but Nathan's is another good one. So we got a pack of both, a good sized pack of both of them.
Let me see if I can find out what the carb load is. So there's still 2 carbs each.
My pizza is, Jerry says, so my pizza is non-compliant, Officer Cindy, and pork chops, flag on the field. I've messed up my teeth with popcorn, so I stopped. One thing I really miss, I found some popcorn. What is it called? Lesser Evil is the name of it at Costco. And it was pretty good. The ingredients were pretty good. It was like, dang. But that was a while back, and I went through, I don't know, 3 big bags of that. And Max likes it too. BS meter is activated.
For what's that? What's the BS meter for?
Oh, just talking about her. She did. She says, so my pizza is non-compliant, Officer Cindy, and pork chops, flag on the field. We did a live stream last week.
Yeah.
There was Jerry, Chanel, me, Andy, and Lindy talking about beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and talking about our channels and everything. And Andy said he had pork chops. I said, hold the bus. Hey, hold tight. Hey, that's not beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Pork belly, yeah, because it's bacon. Same thing. That's why I keep asking, what about pork rinds? What about this? I got shot down with core keto chow. So yeah, that's what it's about. That's the BS meter.
She says so she really misses popcorn. I remember there Fresh Time used
Yeah.
to have these like half popped popcorn things.
Mhm.
So it was like popcorn, but it was like half popped, but it wasn't all hard like when you have it in the microwave. And they were like this cheddar. It was so good. Like when they just stopped making it. I find things I like and they stopped making it. Probably for the better because that would have been a problem.
It can be. That brand is butter flavored, and it was just really good. And I ate a lot of it. Amy said I had an argument with the lady at the movie theater when I cheated and ordered the small junior popcorn. I just wanted a taste, and she argued, "Well, you can't get free refills." I was like, "Duh."
Yeah, our movie theater has this golden bucket you can buy. You'd buy it every year. It's like $27 or whatever for the bucket, and then you get like $2 refills whenever you come back to the movie theater.
Yep.
But we don't do that. I mean, it's been so long since we've gone to the movies regularly. Like this is the first time we've come to the movies like back like within like 2 or 3 weeks of each other. We went for the Stitch movie, the new one, and we just came for How to Train Your Dragon. And I don't know if there's anything coming out in the foreseeable future that excites me enough to get me back out to the theater or not.
We don't go to movies, so I don't even know what's out there ever. Nurse Cindy's in the house. Hello, hello.
Good evening,
Wow.
Nurse Cindy.
Long time no here. I got to get you back on here, woman. Oh my God, Nurse Cindy is here. Hi, Nurse Cindy. She's amazing. Brian Doyle is here, just driving home from work, watching YouTube.
All right, Mr. Doyle's in the house.
Just be careful. Just be careful. Hey, ask Nurse Cindy. What you want to ask her?
Yvonne
Ives is here. Happy Friday, everyone. Rick. Nurse Cindy, I have to thank you for your video on hair loss. Helped me determine my medication was making my hair fall out. We need to get, when we, at Ketopalooza, the first year that Deb and I went, it was 2022. Nurse Cindy was speaking. And Rachel had told her she has a sister, or had a sister, Deb, that got her started on keto. Well, Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos went and told her about me and my sister, Deb, because it was the same way. My sister, Deb, got me started. Her sister, Deb, got her started. And she said, I need to meet them. And this was Saturday morning. She was getting ready to go on stage, and she was the first one up, I believe. And I mean, she just hugged us and it was like we clicked instantly. It was like when we met Karen and Therese of Low Carb Spin at Hack Your Health. So, she gets up there and starts her talk. And she stopped, like right at the beginning. She said, wait a minute. She said, I got to tell you all. She said, I just met two sisters, Cindy and Deb, and we were sitting in the front row. Had no idea she was going to even discuss us on stage. And she had us stand up and she started telling them, she said, and the kind of commonalities in our two stories. And everybody was in tears. It was just like, it was so incredible. And she is just the kindest soul. We went to KetoCon after that. She wasn't speaking. She came there just to spend time with us. It was so sweet. I sent you guys pics of our dinner because I know you love seeing it. Yeah, my phone is in the other room, so I don't see it till later. Nurse Cindy has a video on hair loss. I need to watch it. I will try to find it and put it into chat. I don't know. Cindy, was that a YouTube or Facebook video? She did most of her videos on Facebook, but she does have a YouTube channel that I don't know. Most of her live streams were Facebook lives.
I stopped doing Facebook lives because they aren't going to keep them. So they're only going to last for a month and then they're going to delete them. So That's kind of silly for me to put effort into, and then I wasn't getting very much engagement. If I'm not getting engagement right off the bat, and there's no chance to grow engagement over time, or people maybe will find you on Facebook and go back and watch old lives, there's no point in doing it over there.
Right.
That's why I do
get
it
it.
to,
I've never done any, but that was just her avenue back then. That was what she did, and they were great. She'd be sitting in her car and just carrying on. She's great. She is fantastic, and I miss her. February will be a better month, Deb said. It's shorter to do beginning. Telling you, she's struggling. She's like, it's great. It's funny. Cindy saying hi. Aaron, I will have to watch the replay. Have a good night. You too, Aaron. I found him on YouTube. I forget whose channel. But he has a small channel, and he just seems like a really cool guy. It does. I'm apparently a YouTube expert now. Scary.
I'm not even a YouTube expert.
Amy, what medication was causing hair loss? If that's too personal, it's okay. I like to learn about anything I can. Amy, I know Amy talks about that a lot on her channel for sure. But I'm not losing as much hair as I used to, Lynn. Well, there's probably a reason for that, dude. Jerry, thank you so much. Jerry is officially paying for indulgences. Bless me, Cindy, for I have sinned. I haven't seen your video yet about your pizzas, Jerry. It was I don't even know how to say it, for migraines. It got worse when they increased my dosage and switched me from the time release to the non-time release. There you go. There you go, Deb. Jerry, you're so sweet. You are, and I appreciate it. Amy said, that's rude, Dustin.
I don't even know what's
rude. What you do now?
I don't know.
What'd you do? What are you doing?
I don't know.
You're too busy over there. Stress can really impact hair loss, not immediately. It takes a few months to fall out. So hard to trace cause. Weight loss can also trigger hair loss. When I had gastric bypass and I lost weight, right here on the side of my head, both areas were bald. There was a girl that had surgery the same day as me. She was totally bald when I saw her 6 weeks later because of the bypass surgery and the rapid weight loss. I'll invite you again, D-Man. I've been Instagramming you about it, Dustin.
Again, people send me this stuff and I don't even get any. I don't even know where it goes.
I don't know, but you accepted it.
Getting mad at me and stuff I'm not even seeing. Like, I don't even know I've got I have 7 Instagram requests. And most of the time I check it, it's like, not real people. So I don't check it all that often. So I don't know what's going on. I thought we followed each other. I don't know.
Jerry's
like
real.
this right now.
Jerry's real.
Well, no, right now I got 7 requests here, and it's from like, hey, saw you in the city a few days ago. Hey, you best friend. Yeah, it's not real. I don't even know what's going on. Like, you were like, I'm messaging you, but I don't know. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not.
We'll get you in there because you do have good knowledge about how to grow channels. And that's what this was all about. You just got to put some feedback in it. Just got to communicate. I have to poke you on Messenger. You got to get in the chat. Get in the chat.
Are you in there and you saw them trying to get a hold of me and you didn't say nothing? Thanks, Cindy. What the
I was waiting for you to respond because you accepted her invite. Jerry invited you and you accepted.
Yeah, but then I didn't see anything else. Nothing else was like, hey, nothing told me anything.
Listen.
No. Like, getting mad at me about something I don't even know. That's like
on the live stream with the 5 of us, it was talked about too. Not you per se, but that we had the chat going. And I'm not the only one that's in it. I'm not the one that started it. Ask Nurse Cindy, how do you like our sister? How our sister is blossoming. Well, thank you, Deb. Sherry said that happened to me, Amy. I had a chemical reaction with my meds and hair color, and my hair fell out overnight. It took me years to grow it back, but it did. Speaking of Sherry, Wednesday, she was talking about, she has in Sean, they were talking about this picture of her in this blue dress, Dustin.
Yeah.
Do you have Sherry Robinson on your Facebook page?
Oh.
That's her last name.
Because Facebook is more so like for people that I've met in person and know, and not so much just people from YouTube.
All right.
I
Anyway,
post pictures of our granddaughter and stuff there.
She has a photo of herself in this blue dress when she was younger. Man, she said I was all legs, and man, she ain't lying. She was tall and all legs. Jerry said, Debbie's so sweet. You all will need insulin on the feed. Woo! Those Godzilla movies are the best with no audio video sync. Oh my goodness, the silent.
Well, because they're just overdubbed from Japanese with English. There's a lot of that now with Korean. There's Korean movies done like that now. There's a lot of really awesome action films, and there's also a lot of movies coming to Netflix and TV shows coming to Netflix. But it'll look great. The premise looks awesome, and I'll click on the little preview, and it'll be like overdubbed. And Shannon's like, "I'm not watching that."
No,
like,
it drives me crazy.
The mouths don't match, and I'm like, I get it. It's a great thing to watch when you're not quite paying attention. It's like
that's a great thing to have on in the background. You're right. Where you don't have to watch it, because that makes me crazy too. So I get where Chandra's coming from. Amy said, my hair is coming back so thick and I have curly hair. I have short fuzzies in the humidity. I look like a hot mess right now. I doubt it, Amy. Rick says, ask Nurse Cindy. Yes, stress. I had a full head of hair until I got married and had kids.
I had hair when I met Chandra.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You still have some on the sides. You just keep shaving it.
Well, like I said, this stuff is coming in like you can see like back here, it's darker. This is dark. Really light.
Because you're getting older, dude.
Going on. Huh?
Because you're getting older.
I know. I'm getting more handsome as I age too. Yep. Watch out, ladies. I'm coming.
No. Where's Chandra? I know she's home.
Downstairs. She just laughed at me.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, nobody wants you. I'm like, I know.
Powerade Zero is not a great electrolyte, Debbie.
It's not, but sometimes I get a grape one just because I want a grape drink. That's not so bad for me. I mean, you know what I mean?
Did you try the Zevia grape yet?
No, I don't. I have not liked any Zevia that I have tried. So chances are I'm not going to like it either.
If you like grape, you'll like it. I've been living off hot dogs and I found a 3-pound bacon with ends and pieces and eggs and coffee.
Chris's dad's awesome. Oh, he says, Dustin, I blame my hair loss on Chris and gray hair on Pam.
Where are you at? It's like way down here.
Up to date, yeah, because I've got my chat and the full chat side by side, splitting my screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It's like,
well, that's like on Tuesday. We were like an hour behind or more, and I was like, sometimes I have stuff to say.
I try not to get behind because I know how I feel when I'm in the chat. Amy says she drinks salty and yerba mate tea. I don't like tea, so if it tastes like tea, I probably wouldn't even get that to try it. I did get some iced coffee flavors to try to get off of soda altogether. Woo. I smoked ham and green beans fried in bacon grease. I know, I saw it. It was good. Are you having beef, butter, bacon, and eggs? Yes, sir. When I eat, that's what I'm having. every day. I'm making Victor's meatloaf. I'm in love with that recipe. I've had it. I made it once. It was
Victor's
really,
in the
really
chat.
good.
Him and Old Yeller.
Do what?
Victor's in the chat. Him and Old Yeller.
I haven't seen him come in either. Sardines and Tabasco, the dinner of champions. Nope. Mr. Cranky Carnivore Cutler, no. I could eat bacon and eggs every day for every meal. I did that in 2019 when I had a meat aversion after my surgeries. Maybe after this month, I will be drinking the Victor Elixir for sure. New York brand of hot dog that is beef and skinless that has no carbs.
Wait, what was that? He found one or looking for one?
Hot dogs. He said there is one. There is one. I don't know what brand.
But I don't want to pay like $9 for 8 hot dogs. You know what I mean? Like
no, I'm not. They put soy sauce in their dogs. I mean, I don't know if my stomach could handle it. The salt bothers my stomach. I wish my stomach wasn't so sensitive. Girl, I don't know. Because kosher is not ingredients, it is how it is prepared. Yep. Totally understand, Debbie, about the stomach issue. Nurse Cindy, I buy Hebrew hot dogs for emergencies of life. We just bought some, and they got rid of the bad ingredients out of them for the most part. Jerry shouts to Dustin, here you go again, friend. She sent me the invite
but it won't let me join because I was kicked out. I sent her a screenshot.
All right. I'll talk to Andy. He takes care of that. Can't spell on Fridays. It's all right. It's all good. I love bacon wrapped jumbo hot dogs in the air fryer.
I love how like when you put a hot dog in the air fryer for too long, they get extra plump and really fat. Then they start to deflate.
It's like anything with eggs in it too. Everything deflates. It's crazy. Frank's hot dogs, they are Hill Country. They're an HEB brand and they're very clean.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, I wish we had HEB here, but we just don't.
I've been to one. When we went to Texas for Hack Your Health, we went, but
I saw one when I was in Austin.
Yeah. Jerry's talking smack.
Yep. Jerry is rude.
Joking. Well, hello, Andy. Here he is. Andy, will you please let Dustin back in the WhatsApp?
And understand that I don't catch
have
things
notifications on.
I wasn't ignoring anybody. I wasn't doing it out of malice. I was doing it out of ignorance. I guess there's no real difference, these days.
Wait, hold it. You have to go back about 90 seconds. I picked up my granddaughter and pulled my headphone cord out of the computer. Sorry. Came over here to say hello. I started with the easy channel. Came over to land on the channel Refinement and Beauty. Well, thank you, Chris. Get a simple. I don't have a Costco. I just have a Sam's and have been using the Sam's gas. Sam's, Costco, it's all about the same stuff.
But they're not.
Your money. Do what?
They're not. I mean, we have a Sam's membership until like September or something. We never use it. I'm just going to cancel it before because we never go. It's not any farther than a Costco, but it's just in the opposite direction to where we go. We just don't go that way.
Wow.
If I have like GFS closer, I'd rather just go to GFS.
Yeah. Cindy says, my Facebook account was hacked a few months ago and shut down for inappropriate content. No clue what the hackers posted. She is even blocked. That's crazy. Hackers are everywhere, though. It doesn't matter.
Just start a YouTube channel, Nurse Cindy. Does she have one?
She has one. It's flavored with, I can't believe it's not butter. It's not.
I remember like when I used to buy Olivio, is like the butter margarine Olivio, because it had a like olive oil. I thought it tasted so good. And I'm like, oh, I was so dumb.
Well, I'll tell you, I was a big Miracle Whip fan. I hated mayonnaise, hated it. And it's like, dang, God, I can't have that. I don't like mayonnaise.
I don't like
But
mayonnaise at all. I'm like the
Mr.
most
Delisle,
keto when it comes to that. I don't like
just
mayonnaise. I don't like deviled eggs. I don't like all kinds of things that you're supposed to love on keto.
have you tried Chris's butter mayonnaise? It's just egg and butter, for God's sakes. And it's
I
great.
don't like mayonnaise, so I haven't put the work in to try it.
It's not that hard. You separate some eggs, you melt some butter, mix it together, boom. Little apple cider vinegar and a little Dijon mustard, and you're done. It's good. I just watch movies and old TV shows at home. I don't go to the movies. That was Carrie. Jerry says, I make sure to take a dose of drugs before this live, Cindy. She just went, she had her hip replaced. She just went to the doctor today for a follow up, and she has to start physical therapy soon, Tuesday. Hello, family.
Bye,
So what do you
Lisa.
have?
You'll get there eventually. She's saying bye.
Who is? I'm trying
Lisa,
to stay caught up, man.
I hear you.
Cindy answered Debbie about me. She said it was meant to be. My sister Janine, for me, started. Yeah, her sister Janine got her started. We did. It was so heartwarming. Yeah, that's what she said. We wept and laughed at the same time, and that's what that was about. All right. Anybody that is left or leaving, I'm sorry. I missed your comments. And there's Victor. I finally found it. Hello, Victor. Yes. Everybody saying hi. So, Dustin, what is next for you? I know you got Saturday live streams coming up starting tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow will be 1:00. We're going to be talking about Men's Health Month. June is Mental Health Month. My buddy John is coming on, and we're going to talk about that. He's a life coach, so we're going to talk about some of that stuff and promote some of his stuff he's got going on. And then Sunday morning live again, Sunday morning, and then Tuesday live. I'm always working on more content. It's just slow going with some of the stuff that I want to do. Trying to, especially it being summertime, I don't get as much time to sit in my office and just work to get things done. So,
Oh, I know what that's like. It's like with doing the reselling and stuff. We're doing okay, by the way. We're doing okay. It's like we had a couple orders come in today. I just mailed one out this morning. We've had about 8 go out last week. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's fun.
and what did and so yeah, Chandra was asking, because we were talking on the phone before I came up here. She was asking, like, what is it that you're reselling?
A variety of a lot of things. Just anything, really. From knickknacks to just, I found, okay, for instance, went to Goodwill and I found this cookie jar. It's a lion cookie jar. You pick up its head and it roars. It says, "Get off my cookie jar." And it talks about getting out of the cookie jar. Get your hands off my cookies, or whatever it says. We paid $9 for that, and I just sold it for $54.
Nice.
I know. We bought a mug, a coffee mug, lobster. Is it lobster or something? 99 cents. Sold it for $20.49.
At the beginning, when at
Random
the
stuff.
beginning in like 2021, I was doing I had my own eBay and I was selling coffee mugs. I have like right over here is a closet in my office with with shelving in it full of coffee mugs. Like, and they're not listed anymore. I've taken them all down and closed the channel base or the thing basically. But I was selling, we were getting them for 99 cents a piece, selling them for 20, 25 bucks a piece. I was selling a lot of Disney mugs. I had one of the mugs I have two different sets. Well, I sold one set. I had a small set and a big set. Like, and by small, like one was like a 6-ounce coffee mug, and the other was like an 8 or 12-ounce coffee mug. And they were White Castle coffee mugs. But the thing, did we ever talk about that? Did you have those once?
No.
Okay, because what they were, I know I talked about it with somebody, and they had them. They had some. So what they were is like when you were done with the coffee, you turned the coffee mug upside down, and it was an ashtray.
Oh, geez.
Because I mean, think about the time. Some of those are old. They're from the 60s, 70s.
I get it. That's like, I don't know. We find some random things. When we were in Florida, we went into a Goodwill store. We were just killing time. We had, we're back from visiting and to ourselves for the day. And I walked over there by the cups and the mugs and everything, and I find one that says Nashville on it. Well, that was sent to Chris and Ash because it was perfect. It had a guitar on it, said Nashville. I'm like, that's got to be theirs. It has to be.
A friend of mine sent me the picture I just sent you. See if you can pull it up and put it on screen.
I don't know how to pull anything up and share it on the screen.
Here, well, let me send it to myself. Hold on. I'll do it.
Just share it all with your phone. That's all I do is I hold my phone up.
Well, it won't quite work that way. But here, let me do this real quick.
Yeah, you do it. Because I don't know how. I tried one day and I'm like, I'm going to screw something up. So I don't do it. Look at Andy. Zevia Great definitely isn't beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Listen, buddy, pork chops really isn't. I got my badge to prove it. You're funny. It's better than Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi. That's all I'm going to say. Are you getting it?
Yeah. Calm yourself.
God. See, that's why I don't do this stuff.
You got to put it on
stage.
Now you got now move the thing. There you go. That was at Goodwill today.
Really?
I told him to buy it. I don't know if he did or not. It was $3.
I would have bought it. Who'd you tell to buy it?
My friend who sent me the photo.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I'll take it if you don't want it. Lost about 80% of my hair 3 months after I got home from that massive earthquake in Japan about 10 years ago. I had to wear a wig for over a year. Wow. That's wild. Wild. A massive earthquake, that would be stressing up, that's for sure. They wouldn't try beef bacon. Yep, I have. I didn't like it.
I like it. I just don't think it's worth the money.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you get like 12 ounces for like $8.
I didn't like it.
So basically you're getting like 8 bites.
Here's what you got to look forward to, Dustin. Age makes us deflate. And that's what caused the hair loss. And Jerry. My face definitely is deflating on beef, butter, bacon, and eggs this month. Sag bag. Oh, dang, Jerry. for your popcorn, butter flavored with I can't believe it's not butter. No.
What a lot of times with the movie theater, they're using like palm kernel oil or whatever. So it's not greatest, but it's better than margarine.
Yeah, I don't even think this brand from Costco had that in it. I'm pretty sure it didn't. It was like there were no seed oils in it whatsoever. It was just, I was reading the ingredients and I'm like,
Adrian.
this is wild. I see her. I'm at the bottom. Amy said, yeah, that story was Nurse Cindy's video. Someone needs to share her video in this stream. You know, my guest here is my moderator that's left. Everybody else is like gone on a cruise. Let me see if I can find it.
I'll look for it. You just slow your roll.
You do that. Hello, Sandy. Welcome, welcome. And Adrian, of course. Charlie's here. Hey, Dustin and Cindy. Hello, Charlie. Yes, Nancy said, hugs to Hope and Ralphie. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Coming to you from the World Peptide Conference. Let me tell you, the info is cool, but the vibe is nothing close to a meetup.
Seems like a pretty lot more stuffy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Hey, Charlie.
No, it's asked. Yes. I'm like, if I'm trying to find a channel.
Nurse
I'm like,
Cindy.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. There's Shelly King, too. I know you too. Hey, friends. Happy Friday. Hello, Shelly. I'm trying to catch everybody at least as they come in. Everybody's just saying hi to one another then.
So I look up Ask Nurse Cindy, and what comes up is Keto Journey with Ask Nurse Cindy on Dr. Barry's channel 6 years ago.
Yep. Twin Brook Acres. It's movie night.
Never her channel, just that one.
Movie night with the grandchildren. Good night, all. I've had her on once before. I'm going to get you back on here, Cindy.
She has 15,000 subscribers.
She does?
No, I'm asking. I'm trying to figure out if this is the right channel or not.
I don't. The last time I looked, she didn't have a whole lot. Hang on.
And the last, like, the videos are from like 3 years ago, so I don't think this is her. Okay. I'm trying to find it, but YouTube is just weird.
That's Keto Chow. Ask Nurse Cindy playlist. Dr. Eric Westman. What the heck?
Right?
Beautiful playlist. Wow. I've got her videos here. I'll just put this up. Amy, see if that works. See if that takes you to her channel or somebody. That's her playlist. My older son told me to tell you, he said hello, Dustin. Charlie.
Hello.
All right. Amy got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure. It's just not. Ugh.
All
okay.
Right. Here's the hair loss story. Amy sent it to me. And I clicked on it, copied the thing.
That's fine. I'm not very good at this stuff. I don't know. That's why I'm like, you guys want me to, I can't even find channels. Oh,
It's tough sometimes to find things. The link works for her playlist. Hello, Sunny.
Sunny.
How are you? Charlie's doing okay. Last I heard, they have a vehicle to use that is Jason's car. Jason has his work truck until they can get on their feet and get something else. So, yep. That's gonna rely on you for all my YouTube knowledge.
I know how to make YouTube work. I know how to make the content. Finding it on YouTube, that's not my forte. Because it just makes it so like I can't even get people to find my channel because if you put a space between keto and simple, it doesn't come up for anything.
Yep. It's tough. Steph is here. I'm sure this is almost over. Not, maybe not. Andy, I need a reminder for the live on Tuesday. Yep. We need our shades since the room is sunny now.
Gotta wear shades.
Andy, let me see for Tuesday. All right. I don't know what that. She corrected that there. Need a reminder.
She deleted it. Yeah, she deleted that because I don't think she typed it right.
It's funny how things can get deleted and the host can still see it.
Well, it doesn't get deleted off of StreamYard. It gets deleted off of YouTube, but not StreamYard. StreamYard picks it up and then it doesn't go away.
Yep. Need our shades since the room is sunny. I'm good at research, but I was busy making a meatloaf. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, Steph. Praying for Charlie. Thank you. I'm going to go do some laundry. So glad I caught your live. I'm glad you were here. I'm going to message you later or tomorrow. Have a good night, Cindy. That was a pleasant surprise. So back to starting Saturday lives, 1:00 tomorrow, men's mental health, mental illness.
Yes.
Sunday, your typical 5-hour live streams.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long it'll go, but I think it's just one of those things. Like, I think it's important for anybody that's around men, like whether you have a spouse or sons or brothers or whatever. I think it's important because a lot of times yes, Jerry, 1 p.m. Eastern. There's just it's just one of those things that kind of goes not unnoticed because a lot of men just don't even really project that. So hopefully we'll dive into that and be able to kind of unpack some of that and showcase some important aspects of that and hopefully start to get people not just physically better, because when we're dealing with, with keto, carnivore, we do feel mentally better, but that doesn't necessarily always make us all the way mentally better. So we've still, we all have work to do, right? And hopefully we can kind of lock that down and kind of get some information out there. And if people need more, then they can look into, getting, whether you work with Johnny or, anybody closer to you or whatever the case is, if that's something you need. I don't know. I mean, because I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping to learn something tomorrow myself. So,
right.
Yeah. And it's a departure from just the same old kind of stuff we talk about all the time, because I think there's so much more out there to talk about. Like with one of the last Saturdays I did was with, you're supposed to have her on too, but she never came onto your channel.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
With Caitlin, and getting into the dark side of how women can be kind of led into being even more overweight with money.
Yep.
And all that stuff.
That was a powerful one you had there.
Yeah. I mean, that one hit me like a ton of bricks because I wasn't expecting that at all. Because I didn't know anything about that when I brought her on. I just wanted to talk about, because she was, had gastric bypass and was working to lose all this weight. She was like 600 pounds. And I mean, that's a powerful story in of itself. And then you add in kind of how she went with, from under 500 to over almost 600 just from that side of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was like something that I didn't even know existed. And I mean, there's probably tons like that out there that we have just no idea.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, what you were talking about with men's mental illness. I mean, not that Brian went through a spell after he had to retire because his dystonia was interfering with his work. But even that, I mean, he was going to continue working until he fell. And he worked that morning. He came home and there were trees that were totally blocking our dining room window, or tree branches, and our electrical lines in our driveway. So he got his ladder out and he's getting all that stuff away from the window, off of the power lines. And that's all he needed to do. Well, he wanted to go further and get that branch that was causing the problems that was halfway down on this big maple tree in our front yard. I said, "Can I help you?" "No, go in the house." He said, "If anything falls, I don't want you getting hurt." Well, the next thing that fell was him, and the ladder hit the house. He broke his left ankle, his right heel, and his left wrist, all in that fall, because he had fallen like 10 feet. And when he was able to get around, after that, he couldn't even go out. He couldn't get on his feet for 3 months because he wasn't allowed to put any weight on his right foot whatsoever. He was in 2 boots for months and had surgery on his left wrist, and it was just a mess. We got through it, obviously. And when he started keto, it was a couple weeks after I did. And so I started September 2020. And then a couple weeks later, he says, "I'm just going to do this." Because he could see there were changes in me, not drastic. It had only been a couple weeks. But I think overall mood and, I mean, everything. And prior to that, he would take Max out and sit on their side stoop and just sit there and stare. And he's not a good, a big communicator. So it's not like we would talk things out when something's bothering him. He just keeps it all bottled inside. And he had just told me all this when I had him on and he told his story. But he was so depressed because he had to leave a job that he loved of 30 years. He fell, he couldn't do anything. He had, and then he was like, now with this dystonia that is kicking his butt, and it's progressively gets worse. We have an appointment with a neurosurgeon within the next few weeks, something like that, to see if there's any more fine tuning they can do with the whole leads that are in his brain and all of that. But he, after he started keto, within a couple of weeks, his energy was back, his motivation was back. He felt more like himself. He was ready to just go and do things, like the pen making that he does. And, he loves to drive. And that was something else. He has a hard time keeping his eyes open sometimes. And that's all part of the dystonia. So he can't drive, which is why I do all the driving. And I have a surprise for you, Dustin.
Birthday twin.
There's your birthday twin.
How we doing, buddy?
Happy birthday. Well, early birthday.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, this is my son, Jason. Him and Dustin have the same birthday, just a couple years apart. And I had asked Jason, I said, "I'm going to be on with Dustin. You want to pop in?" Ask Karen and Kirsten real quick.
She's good. They're burnt.
His girlfriend and his daughter were out in the sun, and they are both blistered and burnt. yesterday. So
Yeah, I got
anyway,
some sun. I got some sun on Tuesday? We went to the zoo when I got nice and toasty.
nice and toasty, but not
Yep.
blistery.
No.
Yeah, they're both pretty fair skin, and whoo.
I don't care.
But Jason had, I know I plastered his good news all over the place to Wednesday. But Dustin, if you didn't hear,
Hold on. Hold on.
hurry up. Oh yeah, there you go. You just had a pop-up message come down. The
What
first
does it say?
48.
It's
Hang on. Turn it sideways.
hold on. It gets smaller for some reason.
That's crazy.
Yeah, hold on. I'll show you. I've got one here. There we go.
This is my younger son.
Nice. What does it say now?
That's his sprinkler journeyman's
journeyman.
license.
All right. Journeyman's license. All right.
Yeah, I took the exam Monday and obviously passed.
Congratulations.
Like,
Thank you.
after a lot of stress and a lot of struggling and a lot of everything, and not relapsing back to his old self, which would have been his answers from years ago, would be to go back to the other crap and drinking and things that we won't mention on here this time.
I can't
But
do it.
he stayed strong through it all and stressed to the max about this test and everything else. He called me Monday in tears. He said, Mom, I said, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh crap, no, don't. Nothing else bad, no. But yeah, it was great.
I did it. Yeah.
Lynn said, big congrats on that accomplishment and license, Jason.
Thank you. I couldn't read that for nothing.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's saying congrats.
Thank you. Why can't I see the chat? Oh, there we go.
There's Amy, because I haven't been doing this. Congrats on passing. Congrats,
Hey, Amy.
Crazy J.
Hey, thanks.
I just said that one. Debbie says, congrats.
Thank you.
Jason, my friend's husband does all the sprinklers installed in the hotels in Vegas. Makes a ton of money. Congrats. It's a great job. There you go. Get hooked up with that.
No, you can't put me in Vegas.
Nope.
Especially making great money. No.
Woo! Yeah, I know. Just the food in Vegas alone would have me.
Man, I don't know. My all my good pay would be donated.
Wasted.
Yeah, I'd like to call it donated. You know, I'm a nice
It's
guy.
wasted. You may as well throw it in the trash can.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
So,
Anyway, I had asked him to come on because I know you've said he messaged you happy birthday last year.
I love it.
And you talk about him as your birthday twin. Call me your bonus mom, which, you know, and I know this is the month you lost your mom. So,
Mhm.
you know, it's hard.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
How many years ago, Dustin?
12.
12 years.
Still hard.
I can't imagine it would ever get any easier.
Jason's always told me, he said, Mom, anything happens to you, I cannot go on. I won't do it. And I'm like, you got a ton right there in the room with you and in your house for the reasons to keep going. Always. But anyway, I just wanted you to pop on and say hi to Dustin. Now you actually can see him and meet him and in a roundabout way.
I'm so jealous of that beard.
How long is it, Dustin? Show him.
I don't know. I really started growing it in 2010. So it's like 15 years.
Oh,
But it doesn't really, it just kind of gets here and just stays.
I should give it some time. It grows like mine does. Like in the middle, I don't get a whole lot of growth, but on the sides here, I get a lot.
Well, mine's just
All right,
gray
there's
on the
the host.
sides, and there's stuff in the middle.
There's
It's just gray on the sides. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
12 more years, and we'll see where I'm at.
Well, I
You
mean,
gotta
I've
shave
been
your
like
head
this
though,
for.
Jay.
Well, I've had it this long for. It's just kind of got here and stayed, but it's been like this for like probably been 10 years. It's been this long.
Wow.
It just doesn't go any more than this.
Yeah. Do you hear me, Jason?
No.
You gotta shave your head though.
No. I'm not. I'm not
No,
I'm not getting rid of that. No way.
What
I didn't
did
have a
Karen
choice.
say?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
She won't let me.
If
He
I
is
had long hair, it'd just be a skullet.
Well, he's the opposite. He gets his head shaved under here.
I used to do
keeps
that
it
too back in the day. Yeah.
I'll be honest. Back before I grew my hair out, I used to have it like faded, skin tight on the sides and the back, and then just like a two on top.
Oh, it's
And-
on your journeyman's license.
Yeah. That picture.
Yeah.
But I always used to say, like, I wish I was like Mr. Clean Bald, so I didn't have to keep shaving my head.
Yeah, I still have to shave my head.
And then I was like, well, started working the sprinkler company and doing installs, wearing hard hats all the time. And I'm like, as much as I hate hats, I have to wear them right now. So it's going to be the best time out of any if I want to grow it out. So now that I did, I can't get rid of it. It may happen naturally. I'm starting to thin in the middle.
Yeah, well, your grandfather was bald on top.
Yeah.
They always said I was going to take after my grandfather and my mother's father. He was like the missing link. He was furry. He had like hair on his arms. He had a big head of hair. And I'm like, you won't lose your hair. You're going to have a big head of hair forever. And I'm like, it didn't work out that way.
Someone lied to me.
I mean,
Well,
they're
my
like, you're
dad-
going to have, yeah, they said that forever. I was going to have this big head of hair forever. You're never going to go bald.
Shoot.
What are you going to do?
Yep, my dad had, he was bald on top, but he was hairy everywhere else on his body. I mean, but a hair, nope. On his head, nope. They're popping back and forth in the chat because they're like, because I haven't been highlighting anything. I'm sorry, folks. But anyhow.
All right. Well,
Thank
happy
you,
early
Jason.
birthday again.
Good to see you. Thank you. Happy
No
birthday.
problem.
Happy early birthday to you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
So Dustin, Jason's going to be 43. How old are you going to be, Dustin? 46, right?
46.
3 years.
You know what,
Yeah.
Mom?
What?
My boss is his actual twin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, his same birthday, and he's going to be 46.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's
Right?
pretty wild.
Don't worry, you look nothing alike. That's good for you.
Oh, Jason.
All right, Mom. I love you. Thanks.
I
Bye,
love
everybody.
you too.
Love
And
y'all.
care.
In
I'm
the
going to
chat.
tell you again, I am extremely proud of you.
Thank you. It means a lot.
He worked
Yes.
hard.
Hard work pays off. Don't let anybody ever tell you can't do something.
That's right.
Remember that about your
I
health.
have. All right. Love you.
All right, honey. I love you.
All right. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.
How do I get out of here? Leave.
Leave studio.
Love you.
Leave.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. I messaged him before you came on, and while I was sitting in backstage waiting, and I said, "Can you do me a favor?" I said, "I'm having Dustin on." I said, "I know you've messaged him, and he calls you his birthday twin." I said, "Can you just pop in?" And he said, "Right now I'm at urgent care with Karen and Kirsten. That's his girlfriend and his daughter, because they are
Mhm.
both blistered from the sun."
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. So I said, well, if you get time, I said, make sure they're okay first. But yeah. But chat, Carrie says, I'm trying to get into the IT space. I have all the skills and can fix and build computers, but don't have the 2 to 5 year company want. It's hard to get a job these days.
I think they use that whole thing. I don't think it necessarily matters. They don't think they really need it. I think they use that just to leverage so they can hire who they want or don't want.
It's hard. I mean, back in the day, and I'm really aging myself now, but you could walk into a business and apply for a job right on the spot. There's none of that anymore. You've got to go through these temp agencies and these multiple freaking things and do everything online. You can't just walk in somewhere and say, could I get an application? Unless it's maybe a little mom and pop place. Because these companies are hiring people to do their hiring for them. And you've got to jump through hoops. And you can have all the book smarts in the world. You can know the job in and out. But unless you have a degree, for instance, when I worked at the Gap Distribution Center before I moved to New England, I worked there for 10 years. And at one point, they had brought this guy in who had just gotten out of the military, and they made him a manager of some sort, I don't know, floor supervisor or something. Well, the job I had was in order filling. It was a production job. You had a certain standard for accuracy that you had to meet. And because this guy was just out of the military, he didn't know anything about the business or the people in it. We were expected to get 100% production. I always got 150. All I did was keep moving. Get the day going. You keep busy. The day goes fast. You're out. You go home. And accuracy, you were allowed 0.26. Mine was always under that. Well, this son of a gun, he followed me around ridiculously one day. And I'm like, if you think I'm not doing my job, look at my records. I went to his boss, and we were all friends because I had been there several years at that point. And I said to him, Dave, will you get him off of my back? I said, I'm here. I do my job. I don't call nothing. Get him off my rear end. And it wasn't no time that guy was out the door because it was just stupid. He didn't know anything about the business. But because he had a degree and he had just gotten out of the military, they gave him the job.
Well, the thing is like because I worked in warehouses. I worked at a warehouse when I just out of high school, and I dealt with management like that. I dealt with management like that in fast food when I was working in fast food when I was in high school. I remember there was a manager while I was working at Steak and Shake, and he comes and he's like they needed to empty out the fryer, empty the old grease out of the fryer, and take it out back to like the grease dump.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided he was going to empty the grease fryer into a 5-gallon pickle bucket, plastic pickle bucket. And I looked at him and I'm like, that's not a good idea. Here I am, 16 years old in high school. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. He goes, it'll be fine. I'm like, I'll tell you what, if that melts through the bucket, I'm not helping you clean it up. And I remember like I was like, 16, stupid kid. I went out to have a smoke or whatever, come back, and he's in there mopping up all that grease.
Yep.
And the funny thing was, I was at another job later on, and he came in as a temp. And I was like a lead warehouse worker or whatever. He came in as a temp.
Yeah, that's not the brightest bulb in the pack, that's for sure. That is crazy. But yeah, it's I used to run McDonald's for like 4 years when I lived in Massachusetts before I met Brian. And I could have just seen that. I could just picture that when you said that, a plastic bucket with the grease, because they had to filter the grease. And it was like, Heck no. That would have been, God, no, I would have been out the door. So is Jeremiah the one that had the picture?
Yeah.
Did he get it?
I don't know. I asked him to buy it. I don't know if he did or not. It was only $3.
It's all good. That's cool.
I did send a picture of it to Chris. He goes, "That's a throwback."
That's funny. So you saw Sherry's question. I saw you answered that.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin's right. I have several IT degrees, and our IT manager's last job was a butcher at Myers. He's really smart with tech. Yeah.
I think really you just gonna have to. I mean, a lot of times it's about who you know. Like, so when I left the warehouse to go work in insurance, I didn't have any experience in insurance, and the insurance job that I was going in for was an entry level position.
Mhm.
Now they would preferred you to have like a college degree, but I didn't have that, but I was good with customer service. I dealt with trucking companies and and having truck be where I needed them to be, and logistics and all that, working at the warehouse and being a lead and all that stuff. But I was ready to get out of the warehouse because that was a sinking ship. And, I knew it. It was a CD distribution warehouse in 2007. So it wasn't long for this world. And my cousin was working at this place, and he told me, he's like, "I'll help you get on." And I'm like, good, because they got like ridiculous vacation time. And I had been there. I'd been at the warehouse for almost 10 years, and you got a 3-week vacation. 3 weeks of vacation, which when you're working nights isn't enough, because like you got to do stuff at night, and going into this other place, you work days and then you have all this vacation time. I think when I left there, I was there almost 12 years. I had like 7 weeks a year.
Yeah.
And I think just like I started there in July, and but from July to December, the end of the year, I had like 2.5 weeks of vacation used just in that new job. So, but going into that job, I went and interviewed. I thought I interviewed very well. I had to do a test, and I figured I don't know how well I tested or whatever, because they never gave me any results. So I don't know how well I tested. But I called, and I didn't hear anything. So I called the hiring manager, like the HR manager. And then I had my cousin give me one of the supervisor's numbers, and I called and left a message for him. Didn't hear anything. And then one Friday I got a denial letter. They weren't going to hire me. They decided to go with other people. I was heartbroken. So I went to work that night. I was heartbroken. And then I went to work Monday, and I was like, whatever. I really wanted that job because it was an office job, just and work with computers and do insurance and talk on the phone. Way better than getting yelled at by management, because management that I worked with were awful people. Some were good, some were not. And there was just really not good people that worked there. And because warehouses become a very toxic environment, weirdly enough. But it was a Tuesday. I was getting ready to leave for work, and my phone rang, and I answered it. And it was like one of the HR people. She says, "So-and-so is going to call you on Thursday to make an offer." So I got the denial letter on Friday. On Tuesday, they called me and said they were going to make an offer on Thursday. I was confused as shit.
I guess.
And I guess what had happened is Monday, they had the class start. So like you come in, and they have to teach you the system. They have to teach you about insurance. That basically it's from the ground up. Because it was basically taking new loss claims for automobile accidents. And so you have to know how to code things and how to put them in the system so they go to the right people. So they know who should get those claims, who the claim adjuster should be, pulling all the coverages and all that stuff.
Right.
And so, I mean, it was a long class. It was weeks and weeks we were in this class. And basically this was like in the middle of, like at the end of May almost, maybe into June. And I got a call. And they called and offered me the job. It was basically a penny less per hour to take this job. And I jumped on it. Yes, give me what, I don't care. Let's do this. And so, I mean, but like I called and bugged them, and they didn't hire me, but somebody quit at the end of that first day. And they're like, "Who are we going to call? Let's call the guy who's been bugging us."
That's right. Somebody really wants to work. That's you know, when I was managing McDonald's, there were a bunch of, obviously, there's a bunch of kids that work at McDonald's. You can tell the kids that really want to work to have money in their pocket, and the kids that have a silver spoon in their mouth and don't care because mommy and daddy's going to give them everything. You can definitely tell the difference. The work ethic for the kids that really want to earn the money because the parents don't have it to give them is so much better than the work ethic from somebody that has everything they want. And they're just told, you need to get a job. It's so much different. I've seen it so often over the 4 years that I worked for them. It was crazy.
I applied at McDonald's and they gave me a call, but I didn't call them back. Because I had got that van job. I need to go. I probably just go work at McDonald's because the thing, if I go to work at McDonald's, I don't care to do. I just want to go work and then go home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to be a shift coordinator. I just want to put me on the McMorning shift and put me on the fries and let me do my thing and I'll go home.
You'll have to do something with your beard.
I just put a thing on it.
A big hairnet.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. They pay me. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, because the chances of me finding some kind of remote job now is going to be almost impossible because everybody wants remote jobs.
Yep.
Because they are in such demand and companies are utilizing remote work to leverage their staffing in a way that disguises them laying people off or not. So they want to disguise their staffing numbers so you have all these people who work remote. So what's the best way to downsize without looking like you're trying to downsize? You got to come back in the office. Oh, you live 3 states away? Well, I guess you can't work here then. Or you have to resign because you can't be in the office.
Remote, it also cuts back on a lot of overhead they have. So it's a benefit for business owners because it's like
yes and no, because I worked for a company right as the pandemic was kicking off, but they had a building. They were leasing like 20 floors. Mm-hmm. It was a big company. We had like, I don't know, maybe had 14 floors, I think. 14 floors of a big high rise downtown. Mm-hmm. So, and then you just leave that vacant. That does them no good. They're still paying for that.
They're still paying the rent on it, but they're not paying for the utilities that, there's no electrical running.
The utilities will stay on. They still have to heat and cool the building.
Well, I get that. But as far
as the water,
as
the sewage.
I mean, look at all and businesses, you got all these computers going, you got all this electricity going. Or if you got a vacant building, you don't have all that going. And that's a big expense.
Yeah, but they don't pay utilities the same way we pay utilities. We pay utilities based on usage. They have a different way of running the utilities from what I understand. And it's kind of broken down with all the different tenants. But I mean, in that building, like when that happened, everybody went remote. Like there was a restaurant cafeteria thing that just was gutted because there was nobody there to eat. All the restaurants downtown gutted, nobody there to eat. Because everybody went home and there was nothing. So there's been a big push in cities to bring people back into the offices just for the fact that they need the people there to serve. Otherwise, what does downtown become if it's all remote work and nobody works in buildings anymore? Downtown is pointless.
Right.
Outside of shopping, and the food places are only going to be really able to operate on the weekends or whenever in the evenings. Not like all day, every day with all of the coffee shops and all the lunches and everything. With people would go out and have lunch and yeah. So I mean,
I still see a lot of businesses going out. It's sad. It's crazy.
Malia is here.
Yep. Charlie told me to come in. I got to get to the bottom here. Tanya's here. Jesus is here. Malia is here. Hello, Malia. Hello, Charlie. I know you're lingering in the background. But Amy, my daughter works from home too. She's in management with Medtronic. They are based out of California. She lives in Mississippi. This degree gets her more money now with the master's degree. Sherry had said something up here further. My daughter, who is 48, went back to college to get her degree so she could advance money-wise with her company. Same job, but now much more pay because of a piece of paper. That's sad. That,
I mean, but how
you
much
know,
debt did you have to go into to get that degree? Did they pay?
right,
Did
or
they help
did the
pay for it?
company pay her way through? Because a lot of companies will pay your tuition to send you to school. My
Yeah.
granddaughter works for the Boys and Girls Club in New Hampshire, and they're paying for her to go back to school to get her teacher degree so she can work with these kids individually instead of as a teacher's aide. And they're paying her way through, or she wouldn't be able to do it. I make way less than probably could, but I love my job and work from home. Yeah. Oh, Jerry said homework is good. I agree, Amy.
But the thing
Homework.
is, I left that job. I left the job after 12 years, went to a different job, and then the pandemic happened, and here we are.
Yeah, Brian had said something back here. I worked as an engineer, never had a degree. Yep. I started going to college in my 30s. I never went right out of high school. I never got a degree because I moved away and I never went back. And Sherry says, a degree does not make you a better employee. That is God's honest truth. I don't know how anyone guessed that is my problem. But it's tough. It's a whole different world out there, and it's just crazy. Preach, Cindy. Anyways, I work at an insurance software development company now. Yeah, Miss IT Tech, Miss Wiz, you and James. Beverly, don't know how to say your last name. A lot of kids don't have any work ethics anymore. You are so right.
Well, I mean, you got to remember too, a lot of people go into things like working at McDonald's and they know that's not going to be their permanent job, whether that mommy and daddy have money or not. You know, like you go and you work. Like the thing is, when I started working, and my first job was Steak and Shake, and I loved working. I love, like, I'm going to put in these hours. I was making $5 an hour, which at the time was still above minimum wage. I think minimum wage was $4.25. But I was working. I wanted to buy guitars, and I wanted to, go and have spending money, and I just, I remember going to school at the same time and being like, in 2 weeks, getting 56 hours, which going to school full time and working 56 hours is a lot because you're not sleeping much.
Yeah.
And I remember yeah.
But with the kids, my point was, you could really tell the kids that needed and wanted money in their pockets, that couldn't get it from their parents because they didn't have it. They worked harder. They had a much better work ethic than the ones that are catered to at home, that are given everything they want and just told, you need to get a job. They didn't want to work. They didn't want to be there. They were only there because their parents made them get a job. And yeah, fast food is the easiest place to get a job as a teenager.
As it should be, because you got to start somewhere.
But you also need to apply yourself or you get booted out the door. So that doesn't show good on your record, because all of that follows you. It doesn't matter. There's paper trails everywhere with that kind of thing. So when you go to get your next job, you definitely want some good backup there. And it's tough to get kids to understand that. Make the best of the situation. Don't fool around, do your job, and go home when it's time to go home.
Yeah, realistically, learn how to work smarter, learn how to not be like, that's one of the things I learned, because my second job, I think No, let's see. I went and I worked at Steak and Shake, Media Play, and then I worked at Chuck E. Cheese right before I went to the warehouse.
Uh-huh.
And Chuck E. Cheese taught me something because I got a job to fix the games. So I was like the game room guy. I would fill the games with tickets and unjam tickets and give back the coins if they lost a token or whatever, and cleaning the games at the end of the night. And then I got a lot of I learned how to solder doing that job, like because there was games that people would just play it hard, and like the controllers would come unsoldered, so I had to go and solder those like twice a week or whatever. But learning how to do that, then I working with managers in like fast food, because I mean Chuck E. Cheese is a fast food restaurant basically, and learning how to do that. I remember I had a manager who was on me, and I had it was this game or whatever. The tickets were jammed real bad.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there and like, and you kind of like, it's difficult because your hands don't fit in there very well to get the tickets unjammed. You just kind of slowly pry, slowly get them to come out. He's like, "You're not done with that yet?" And I'm like, and I was like, "Can you do it better?" And this is one thing I learned from that, because I was a young, dumb kid. He goes, "Well, they don't pay me to know how to do this. They pay me to make sure you get it done." And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But at the same time, doesn't mean you got to be a jerk to me about it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to. Then I went into the warehouse, and I had people just would treat you awful, scream at you and yell at you. And I remember the supervisor we had, and he would scream and yell and do all this stuff and call you names and in front of other people. So then, and I was a lead, so they would like, that kind of takes away your authority with other people.
Yeah.
If they see you being treated like that. And he'd be like, "You haven't figured this out," and just cussing at you. And I'm like, what is this? What's the point? Like, I'm making $12 an hour here. Like, why are you screaming at me? And I'm like in my 20s, what do I care? But I put everything into that job, and I was there almost 10 years. And then and he actually got fired, quit, ran away, because it was him and myself and a female lead, and then 2 assistant managers, all kind of standing in like a huddle during some night. We had some project going on. We had people doing the project, and we were talking about whatever it was. And out of nowhere, he looks over to the female, and the female worker, and that's my equal, and goes, "You'd make a lot more money if you went and worked at Dancers," which was a gentleman's establishment.
Uh-huh. And
you kind of laugh at it at first because you don't realize, and like the gravity of what he just said didn't quite hit, right? You're like, you kind of laugh it off, and you're like, "No, he didn't say that." You know what I mean? It doesn't hit you. The gravity doesn't hit, because she laughed it off. We all kind of laughed it off, but it was kind of like an awkward laugh. And then I think that the gravity hit her. She got mad and left for the night. He kind of understood that he shouldn't have said that. And then he left. This was a Friday night. And then we all ended up finishing up for the night and going home. We worked second shift. And I remember I get there at like 4:00 or whatever on Monday. And our big manager, was out that Friday night. And he comes in, and he had like a bad foot. So he drove this little cart around, because it was a big 350,000 square foot warehouse.
Right.
So he had this little orange cart that he drove around. And he came and picked me up on it, because it was like a driver's seat. Then there was like a back spot where you could sit and pull someone along with you. And he had me sit on that. And he was like, "So what the hell happened on Friday night?" And I was like, "Here's what happened. We never saw that manager again." But like, that was kind of towards the end of me working there anyway, because there was one of his, or was supervisor. Then we had another manager who was kind of like just off his rocker. And he had a run in with, his wife was a sheriff, and had a run in with his wife. And that led to the SWAT team coming out, and he never came back because he didn't make it. And it was just drama, so much drama. And that's like, like when going and leaving that place and going and working in an office job, there was drama, but it was different.
Yep. Everywhere you go, it's just it just changes. My very first job, I was a waitress, and there was a manager trainee there this one day, and I was carrying this full tray of waters. She gets behind me and she's pushing me. Now, I hadn't been there that long. And she's pushing me like, you need to hurry. You need to hurry. I felt like taking that whole tray of waters and just dumping it right on her head behind me. Because it was like, you know, don't do that. That was so rude. And then when towards the end of working at McDonald's, the owner of the 3 stores that he had at the time, then at last I heard he had about 8 of them. He
So a
had,
franchise owner.
yeah, I was an assistant manager in Greenfield, Massachusetts. And then he promoted me to manager of his East Hampton store, which is a lower volume store, but a first-time manager for him. Well, he was in there one day, and I had been there since 5 a.m. I was short-staffed and working my rear end off. And then he came in, it was like 11:30. I hadn't had anything to eat yet. And I was just a mess. I said, I was white as a ghost. I said, I just need 5 minutes to grab a bite to eat, and I'll be right back on the floor. By that time, I had people coming in, and it could cover what I was doing. Well, a couple weeks after that, I was leaving for vacation to come back this way to see my mom. And he pulled me, he said, I need you to meet me at this restaurant, you know, whatever. It wasn't one of his restaurants, but somewhere else. And he demoted me based on that one experience, telling me he was concerned for my health. It was the only issue I ever had. And I was fine within 5 minutes of just grabbing something to eat. And I looked at him and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? He demoted me back to the store he promoted me out of. So when I got back from vacation, I had to report up there. Well, that was the worst vacation I ever had because I was upset, to say the least. I walked out of that restaurant, left him sitting there, and I never looked back. I went back with such an attitude and started looking for another job. And when I found one, I was out. I didn't give him any notice. Bad thing to do. But as far as I was concerned, he deserved it because I didn't deserve that. And it was crazy. So it was like, you know, give me other reasons. You know, you tell me you're concerned for my health because of one incident. And that's just messed up.
So that's the thing, is like you get into those situations where you're short staffed. And it seems like that's always the way it is, especially probably even more so now. But
But I was running between the front counter and the window, and the front counter and the window, taking orders, serving orders back and forth for 6 consecutive hours. You know, and I just asked for 5 minutes. That's it. And it was like, he just happened to be there that day, and that was all.
Well, anymore, like you go into McDonald's, you can't even go to the front counter and order to a person. You have to go in and order on a kiosk screen and at the store, and then they will hand you your food. You can't go in. Like, I remember I was just trying to, I didn't realize that when I first started doing DoorDash, because I hadn't been around fast food in a long time, outside of every once in a while going through to get a drink or something. Anymore, like I just order on the app anymore and just go in and get it that way. That's what they want you to do, because that way you gain points. But it's silly, but you know.
Yeah, I don't use the app. And the last time we went in, actually just a few days ago, I went right up to the front counter. And the guy that came over to take my order, he had no idea about the a la carte menu just to get the beef patties. He had no idea where it was, so he had to get somebody else. So not only because we order differently, and there is a way to remove the bun at the kiosk, but then you got the cheese on there and and I didn't want the cheese, obviously.
You're paying the full burger price for the patties.
We don't.
Instead of I mean, when you order at the kiosk.
Right. But and I asked him, I said, do you have an a la carte menu on the kiosk? He said, a what? I said, in the computer, on your register, there's an a la carte menu for burger patties by themselves. He didn't know where it was. He had to get some help.
Like the other day, I went to go. I went to go get the girl a Happy Meal. And for a while, like, because she doesn't like the way the apple slices taste because they taste chemically because they last forever in those little bags. So we just we get the double fries or whatever when we get her a Happy Meal. And I wanted to order 2 waters. You can't even on the app order 2 just large waters. They only have the bottles of Dasani. And when I got there, I asked the kid do you have a code? And I'm like, yeah, I gave him the code. And I was like, and can I get 2 large waters? Oh, I'll hook you up. Yeah. I get there and like he's trying to figure out how to ring it up. And the lady's like, well, that'd be $4. I was like, no, I don't want the Dasani. I just want the large waters. Those are almost always free. Oh, you got to ask them up front. So then I pull up to the next window, and then I was like, yeah, they gave me the 2 waters, but like it's just there's a certain level of convenience, and then there's always something that's more inconvenient dealing with the convenience factors.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's rough. It's a rough. Things are just so different. It's, and I'm getting old, so difference doesn't help.
Right.
Change can be good and it can be bad. It's like, whatever. Give me a break here. So, but anyhow, Dustin,
I love you too. Thank you for having me. Thank you for all the people in the chats just blabbing away, having a good time.
Yeah, they are too. It's like it's been going nonstop.
It's almost like they come in to talk. They don't even mind us at all.
It's all right. I've tried to keep up with them and I couldn't. It was like, it's okay. But yeah, as much as you pick on me and everything else,
someone's gonna pick on you.
And what the hell was the deal with the thumbnail?
It's Friday the 13th, and you were trying to stab me with a machete. I could have put a mask on you. I didn't do that.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Like, what the hell is wrong with Cindy?
And now what did Victor and Chris tell you to do?
Put the machete in there.
I see how they are. I don't even think they're still in the chat, but I see how they are. I get it. You guys, and I try to be so nice. You sent me the picture, and I put all the pictures I had of you on the thumbnail. Every one of them. I'm like, I was like, what?
Oh, I had so much fun putting those. I had so much fun with the thumbnail last night. I was just like, how can I make this fun? What
is the deal with Cindy at the end? What? I don't know what they mean. What?
I don't either.
This is from your channel.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who they are. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think they're a subscriber for at least 5 minutes.
You both have. I have a reason for wearing this shirt. The first time I met Dustin was at this event. The very first time. So yeah, I thought it would be cool to wear it. What the hell? That's right. I love it. I love it. Yes, we love you, Cindy and Dustin. Good night. But I want to know what that's about.
Oh, so it was kind of a says
this was just a joke. Kudos
to Cindy. Yeah, Cindy's awesome.
Yes. Dustin just likes pulling my chain.
I mean, what else? What else is there gonna be?
Match. We need at least another hour to match Dustin's Sunday lives.
I might not make it to tomorrow if we do another hour.
No. And I need to figure out if I'm going to eat anything else, as it is getting late.
I'm not going to eat because I'm be going to bed here soon, and I'll feel like crap if I try to eat anything.
I'll tell you, today we were out. We didn't get home until 3:45, and I made 4 eggs, and I had 5 strips of bacon that were already cooked. That's all I've eaten today. That's it. Oh my goodness! Look who's here.
It's either Emily and or James.
You know what? I'm going to do this just for the heck of it.
Hey, James,
Show
how are those
yourselves. Come on in. People would like to see you all. Cindy rocks, Dustin rolls, rock and roll. Ready, set, keto. Go make some burger patties, Cindy. I have some, and I have butter balls now. I'll go grab myself some tri-tip. That's, I don't have a steak right now. It's all in the freezer. I have some. It's in the freezer. Come on down, Bob Barker. James and or Emily, who is ever in the chat. There's the link. Just click on it. Come on down. You're the next contestant on Dustin and Cindy's live stream. James yells to Emily. Oh, man. Right, does everyone have a great rest of the evening and weekend? Well, looky here. You need to connect your devices. Hello.
Hey, this is just on our Mac sitting, obviously.
Yeah.
That's all right. How are you?
Hi.
Wonderful. Hang on, let me see if I can clean this. I was trying to get the lighting streaks to stop, but there we go.
Long time no see, folks.
I know. It's Friday.
It's
It's
Friday.
Friday. I know.
You guys were reminding me of old people. Like kids today don't know how to work.
They don't.
This is true. It's so true.
They don't. Where is he?
Back in my day,
They
I had to
don't.
crank the car to start it.
I worked with a lot of kids. I know. Over the years, it was crazy. Sherry
Yeah.
said, "There's those happy faces."
Well, as you probably know, we're doing a little bit different protocol for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, we know. We
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
We just had some teriyaki chicken again with a serving of white rice and all kinds of veggies.
I did not do the chicken.
You didn't do the chicken.
Lots of veggies. Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
Everybody's saying hi to you all. Even if they do know how to work, they do not want to.
I
Well,
don't
nobody
work
wants to
there.
work. Nobody really wants to work.
Right.
You just
I'll
do it
tell
because you need to.
I'm so dang glad I'm retired. And sadly, I went out because I was hurt, with my back and my knees, and surgery's going bad in my knees.
Yeah.
I am officially not on disability anymore since I turned 65, and I'm officially retired.
Officially. Well, congratulations.
It was like, tell me I'm getting old without telling me I'm getting old. When I got a
Wait,
message from
how many
Social
servings of
Security.
Skittles, James?
What,
Today,
Dustin?
not even a full serving of Skittles.
Ah.
You know,
Lynn wanted to know how many servings. There was.
oh no, not even a full one. But I did have a couple servings of the crunchy chewy nerds today.
That's
You all got to do what you got to do to reset yourselves.
You know that. In all honesty, what I think you got the pendulum, and we swing so far one way for so long that we need to swing back to the other side, and maybe do a swing, off and on. But one of the things I keep saying, and I'm telling Dustin, this isn't it's not my thing, but like if you join like the sugar diet, like the groups, like when you get into keto and things,
communities.
you join all the groups, right? Well, when you get into them communities, they're saying the exact same thing. There's people that's like, oh, how sugar healed my diabetes. And
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me. So the only thing I can think of is that the enemy really is possibly having both at the same time. Fat and carbs equal disaster.
Well, I know for me, with the problem I have with hypoglycemic episodes,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of carbs they are. If I eat too many carbs and I can't eat protein with it, my blood sugars bottom out.
Yeah.
Brian's a type 1 diabetic. There's no way in hell that he would eat all that sugar.
Yeah.
He would be dead.
Oh yeah.
So, it's great. You all do, obviously, what's good for you. I just hope that you keep feeling good. Because I know what you went through, Em, with your ears and everything, and I worry about that. And I think everybody else does too. That's the
Yeah, but
everybody that knows you and knows your all story.
I can
know?
appreciate that from you and Dustin and everyone. And most people have been super, super supportive because first off, it's a 30-day challenge. At the
Right.
end of the 30 days, we'll go from there, see how we're feeling, see what we're doing. Not long after the 30 days, a lot of people don't know this, but I'll be going back to the doctor for more blood work, the endocrinologist, because of the thyroid issues that I've been having.
Right.
And so that'll show me some other markers as far as my thyroid. And
Train.
yeah, train. But I mean, some people are like, oh my gosh, and are kind of mean about it, but it's just a 30-day challenge and I'm okay with it. And I appreciate you and the people who are being supportive of it.
Well, I said I was only going to be mean to James, not Emily.
Yeah.
Do what?
I'm just going to be mean to James about it, not Emily. Emily can do whatever she wants.
But I mean, in all honesty, I feel really good this week. I know we're only 5 days in, but I have felt really, really good. Believe it or not.
You know what? I'm sticky. Everything's sticky.
I guess so. All that daggone sugar. What do you expect?
It is. It's like, you're eating cherries and spitting the pits out. It's like, I'm sticky.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need a bath, James.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's like, and I know you guys watch Wendy and Harry. You've mentioned them. They've mentioned you, and it's great. I was reading the comments on her last video,
Uh-huh.
and man, people can be so
They
downright nasty.
really can. And
I
it's
mean, they're like, oh, well, we're not going to watch you anymore. We're unsubscribing. We're doing this. We're doing that. It's
right,
like,
but you can't fault
it's like
someone to try something for themselves. You know,
I mean, that's
you really
what
can't.
that's what this whole thing was about anyway.
Yeah.
Is find what works for you and go with it. If
Yeah.
it's not working, you've got to change things up a little bit and get your body guessing.
Yes.
And that's what, whether it's sugar diet, which I cannot watch that Cole guy. I don't care what. I watched him one time and
haven't
his
watched
mouth
any
was
of his.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's an idiot. But anyway, away from him and all the yelling he did in his video was that the one I watched, it was like, nope.
We've never watched him.
Yeah.
Oh, that you don't
I don't
want
even
to.
know.
You don't want to. He screamed the whole video.
Wow.
At the beginning, he sits there at this one video I had on. He would sit there, and for like 10 minutes, he never said a word. And then it was all yelling and F-bombs flying every other word.
I don't
It
think
was-
I could get very far.
It was horrible.
Hey,
I
I can-
turned it off after a bit. It was horrible.
I can tell you one thing. The elimination of dairy has been a very good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
It has. It's been, I don't know.
I hate to say it because I love cheese, but it does completely eliminate dairy. And I know the whole candy thing and the sugar thing, it's all it's almost more of a joke as far as the candy because it's like you can have it, the sugar, at least that's free of fat, absence of fat. But in all honesty, you really can do this sugar diet with just fruit and fruit juices and vegetables and you know what I mean, like real food. It doesn't have to be candy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
And,
know. I know.
and the candy that you do get is like hard
James
candy.
is just like a big kid. I get to eat
Yes.
candy.
He is.
You can see it on his face when he's talking about it. You can see it.
But see, it's not really like the addictive kind of candies. It's not like the
Chocolate for
chocolates, and
me.
it's not none of that.
You,
know
say
what I mean?
addictive, but it's addictive for you.
Well,
I'm sitting here thinking like I would be eating Sour Patch Kids and I would be in a mess of trouble.
yeah, but you know what? That's kind of like,
Maybe it's not like that for us
Well,
because of chocolate is what I was
once you're allowed to have it, it's really not that special.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know
don't
what I mean?
know.
You'd be
If I could have chocolate, like chocolate cake diet, it would not be good. It would not be pretty.
Okay, if you're asking me, right now, this month, I'm doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I'm answering this guy's question. What you guys choose? 0 carbs a day, less than 25, less than 59, or something else? And I try to stay, after losing 100 pounds in 22 months, I try to stay within about 50. I try to. I don't always succeed.
Where'd the 59 come from?
I don't know. Just what he said.
Yeah.
It's a hard number. If that was multiple choice, I'd say 59.
And you guys are going way above that, obviously. But that's, if it works for you, even for the short period of time, that's what's important.
Yeah.
And you guys know I'm behind you no matter what, just like I'm behind Wendy and Harry, and I hope the best for all of you.
I love Wendy and Harry, and I do feel bad because she's had some pretty outright, people can be mean.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
They said 50. 59 was a typo.
Well, I mean, the 9 and the 0 is next to it.
Not good candy because you can't have fat.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I loved licorice. That was other than chocolate, licorice was my thing. And I know that's 0 fat because I thought, whoo, I can eat this, no problem.
Yeah.
Back in the day. But yeah, but chocolate is my real good one. And that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to hear my macros for the day?
We're probably not, but what is it?
Okay, calories are 1,610 for today. Protein was 36.2. Net carbs, this is net carbs, 352. And fat was 5.4.
I would be on the floor dead.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be probably bouncing off the walls.
No, serious. From the hypoglycemia, I would be really in big trouble.
So your sugar would go down if you didn't have the protein?
Right.
Ain't that weird?
That's a result of the gastric bypass surgery. If I don't eat protein to offset any carbs that I might eat, I get really sick.
Wow. Mm-mm.
So no,
Yeah.
So yeah, I could have something on occasion, but if I don't offset that with protein, I'm in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
I can't really say that I understand the protein part of this diet because when I originally heard it, I was like, well, that's just your typical low-fat diet of the 80s and 90s. And,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I don't understand the protein part because back in the 80s and 90s and even, before Atkins came out, no one really said anything about protein. You know what I mean? Like they promoted chicken breast and things like that.
Lean proteins. Yeah.
Whereas like the sugar diet, for some reason, they only want you to have the proteins like at night if you're going to have them.
Yeah.
Just seems different. I don't know the science behind all that.
Yeah, it's almost, to me, it's scary because with the lack of protein, you can lose muscle really easy.
Yeah.
And that scares me for you all. And it's like that, and like I said, your ear issue that you've had.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's worrisome, when you meet somebody and you care for them.
Yeah.
You want what's best for them, obviously. And so, yeah, we definitely, and I'm sure Dustin's right there with me. We want the best for both of you.
Just Emily.
Just Emily.
Yeah.
James doesn't talk to me like he talks to you, so it's
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean, I talked to James twice today.
Yeah,
Really?
I like to call Dustin I like to talk to Dustin like once a week. I mean, it tends to go like on Friday or Saturday because that's when I know that Chandra ain't there. Chandra,
That's right.
she's home today.
Chandra.
you could have two people with the same name spelled the same way and they would say it different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, I'm a talker. I'm the friendly one. No one believes that. I'm the friendly one here.
There you go. Sherry said my trigger candy was peanut M&Ms and hot tamales. Haven't had either one of those in years.
Yeah. That was his thing.
Hot,
The peanut butter M&Ms, not hot tamales, but peanut butter M&Ms.
not hot tamales.
Not hot tamales.
Amy
Yeah.
said, yeah, I'd be wanting a Kit Kat or a whatchamacallit. Yep.
Right. So I feel like if it was like that kind of sugar, I couldn't
Like the
do
hard thing for me right now is our boys are living here and they go to the grocery store like 10-year-olds who won the lottery.
it.
They've got like I open our freezer and there's the stuff that we have and there's like a never-ending supply of ice cream sandwiches. And then there's like the other freezer there were like things I've never even heard of before, like 100 grand ice cream bars.
Yeah, that sounds
the
crazy.
candy bar 100 grand. They have ice cream bar.
Well,
And
you know
there's
how
just all this, yeah.
Yeah.
you know how when you start keto, you're like, I can't have the bun. You know what I mean? I can have the burger, I can't have the bun, right?
It feels like
Well, now I
it's
can
like-
have the bun with no burger. It's like, seriously?
Yeah, that doesn't.
You
There's
can
gotta
put
be
butter on it.
gotta be an even thing here.
Yeah.
No butter, no
Yeah.
cheese.
You would think there is an even thing, but time and time again, I've proven that I can't have both at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Not
Yeah.
enough protein. Yep.
Yeah.
But I found when I had my gastric bypass, it was in 2007. And by 2009, these episodes were happening to me. And I was trying real low fat, low everything cereals in the morning. And then I'd go to work and within 2 hours, my blood sugars would be low.
Right.
Anything I ate.
And you just didn't know that's what you needed to do was offset it.
I had no idea. I
Okay.
didn't know what was causing it
Yeah.
until I researched and I found this is hyperinsulinemic hypoglycemia. And I went to my doctor and and this whole blog, and I posted one on when I told my story about the gastric bypass. I posted a blog similar to the one I found where
Yeah.
people had suffered brain damage. They had to have their pancreas removed. There was so many problems
Yeah.
stemming from the gastric bypass that these people were having all these problems.
Yeah.
And not medical advice, not a doctor, just my experience. But yeah, it was scary. So
Oh,
when I
yeah.
went to my doctor and I told him about it, he had never heard of it. He got his computer out and I told him exactly how I found it. I just Googled low blood sugar after gastric bypass surgery, and this whole mess of stuff came up.
Yeah.
Well, my doctor's reading through it. He said, I think you're right. I said, all right, give me my copay back now because I diagnosed myself. But
Yeah.
no, every time I went after that, he said, thank you so much because you helped me with so many of my other people coming in here
Yeah.
because they're reporting the same things.
Yeah. It's weird in a sense of it's weird how our bodies will do that and need to counteract it with something else and not even know.
It's
know?
crazy. It's really scary when you go through that. Like
Oh, yeah.
my son that had popped in here a little while ago, he had come to see me one time and I was at home. I was laying on a couch and I wasn't feeling well. He said, Mom, you are sweating profusely. He just went to give me a kiss on my forehead.
Yeah.
And by that time, I had bought myself a meter to keep an eye on my glucose. And I was at 49.
Yeah.
And I had, all I had was like a cereal or something
Yeah.
for breakfast. And it's scary. When it happens, it's scary.
Yeah.
Sherry wants to know if you've weighed yet since you started this.
In the morning.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
will in the morning, tomorrow morning.
We will.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna weigh in the morning.
That video will go up, and then we gotta. It'll be probably early because we have a graduation party to go to in the morning. That's a couple hours away.
Yeah.
I think it was caramel with chocolate like Rolos. Yeah.
Mine was just chocolate in general, I think.
Rolos were really good. Protein is a building block of tissue, cell in general. Carbs and fats are used for energy. So going low on protein will eventually cause muscle loss.
Yeah, that's where we're like, he's really struggled like when we've talked about this because
I can't
a lot
understand.
of people are doing such low protein, and I'm like, James, this is our 30 days. Like, this is our thing. So you can have chicken. Like,
Yeah, because a lot of
You
people
can
are doing
have-
the sugar fast, like the sugar fasting on the sugar diet, which is
A lot of days.
yeah.
and that just doesn't make sense to me because I mean, like we
It's
said,
hard to understand the protein part.
we're going to do the sugar diet, right? But I don't mind throwing in like a sugar fast day, like on Monday or something. You know what I mean? Like
Like a
after the
day.
weekend or whatever, you get back to work or whatever, like a day or two tops. But other than that, like I know it's got to be lean and things like that, but I still want
To get protein in.
I still want a chicken breast or something. You know what I mean?
Dustin, we can't hear you.
Sherry says, so
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
you
have
guys are
candy, but
bumping
not
up the
candy that has
toothbrush
fat
thing.
in it.
Oh.
What was
Yes.
that?
No candy that has fat.
Right.
You got to bump up the toothbrushing, right?
Yes.
All that sugar,
Yes.
it's gonna fall out.
Yes. That is the biggest reason. And I know it sounds dumb, but that's my biggest reason why I'm like, I can't just have a bunch of candy, James. Like,
James, if you lose
I
your
just have,
teeth, we're
like,
calling you
fruit.
Gumby.
and vegetables. Like, I don't want the candy because it just makes me think of my teeth rotting out.
Dustin, you're terrible.
What?
Yes, sugar.
Sugar,
Yes,
but no fat.
But
Sugar,
yeah,
but no
sugar with
fat.
the absence of fat. So any fat-free candy, which is pretty much sugar,
yeah.
And then there's all the red dyes and stuff. And
Oh, so many dyes.
Yeah, and a lot of those dyes aren't good for you either.
Right. There's
So-
a lot. There's a lot to it that is like totally out of the realm of everything we've heard the last 4 years for me. 4.5 years, and getting off of all the crap that I used to eat, along with the chocolate that I used to eat. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's just like I said. I hope the best, and I hope it works out okay and no ill effects from it. It's just worrisome.
It's crazy too to think that fruits do have a small amount of protein and a small amount of fat in them.
Yeah.
Not enough.
No,
to
not
maintain
enough.
muscle.
But there is some in there.
Yeah, there is some though. I mean, it's I can understand the no fat because obviously our body, we have fat, you know what I mean, that can burn and be used. It's the protein part that I don't understand.
Yeah.
And if we go on this past 30 days, I would even bump up my protein. Less candy, more meat, But it would be the lean, it would be the, still same protocol, just lean
Right.
meat instead of
Sherry
You're
said
gonna
I
be-
could
you're
do an
gonna be
all day
drinking
meal out of
lean?
popcorn.
I second that, Sherry.
Yeah.
You heard it
What'd
here.
you say,
James is going to be drinking lean.
That's the thing. I would be doing fruit only. Processed foods are still processed.
Yes. So like today I cut up an onion and a bell pepper and pineapple. I put pineapple in and
in our stir fry.
broccoli. Yeah. And that's what I wanted, So
Yep.
I just can't see how fruits and vegetables can be that demonized. Like God made these things. Like I have a hard time with that. I always have had a hard
I
time.
know, and that's been my thing is like, and it's even something that Dr. Norwitz has been talking about. Nick Norwitz, he is technically a doctor now, but he was talking about the idea that being in ketosis probably isn't good to be in ketosis all the time.
Yeah.
Just like when we weren't ever in ketosis wasn't good for us all the time. when we were eating the standard American diet and
Yeah.
never getting into a ketonic state. That wasn't good for us. And I've said this before as just a lay person, I mean, it can't be good for us to not ever be out of ketosis or to ever not have carbohydrates, to not have, that's where I don't really agree with the demonization of sugar, the demonization of fruits, the demonization of vegetables, demonization of anything that's a whole food in general. I don't think that the demonization of those things is warranted. Though that being said, I think especially in the very beginning, when you're trying to get yourself into a ketonic state and start to turn your metabolic functions around, it's very important to be very cautious of that. But I think once you start getting your metabolic function in order, then I think probably should be having some of that back in a little bit if your body can handle it. But I think when you go like full carnivore and you're only eating meat for an extended period of time, I think that's probably not the best for us either.
Yeah.
And I'll take flack and heat for that, because there's a lot of carnivore people that, meat is life.
Well, it depends on who you are and what you tolerate. It's like everybody, like they always say, find out what works for you.
Yeah.
If carnivore works for them and they're doing it well and they're feel good and everything's great, that's great.
Yeah. Like Derek,
if low carb or sugar diet works for somebody for a period of time or whatever, that's great.
Yeah.
When Sana and I started these live streams, there was a definite thing. We are not going to demonize anybody for the way they eat or anything else, because there was too much of the dogmatism in the community with carnivores against everybody else.
It's really draining. It really is.
It's aggravating.
Yeah.
And we had said that from the start, and I stand by that. And I say it, if something comes up in the chat, I will address it all the time. And I'll say, we're not going to have that in here.
Right.
Because I won't.
Yeah.
People are people. Everybody should be in this for better health, regardless of how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the key.
I 100% agree with you. I do. 100%. I know a lot of people's asked about Derek, and I would say Derek's primarily carnivore. He still pretty much eats the same thing. And, just the other day, James said, "Don't you ever get tired of that, Derek?" And he said, "I like it." I mean, it's what he likes. So,
yeah. It's the way it is. I mean, it's like,
it is.
Okay, Debbie asked a question back here.
Debbie,
so how much protein is there in a chicken breast? And I responded, it would depend on the weight. It's so much per ounce.
Right. Yeah.
And she said, Cindy, right, I don't know the ratio.
Right.
I know beef is healthier for you. Actually, it's not that it's healthier for you. Beef is fatty, or is more fatty.
Yeah.
Most of it.
9 grams of protein per ounce of chicken breast.
Chicken breast is very lean. Hang on a second, Dustin. Chicken thighs have a little more fat in them. So it's not that chicken or beef is healthier than the chicken. It's like, it's all protein. It's just a matter of, if you're having chicken breast, they want you to add in the fat.
Right.
So what were you saying, Dustin?
For every 28.3 grams of chicken breast is 9 grams of protein. So every ounce is 9 grams of protein.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So it really just depends on what your goals are, what your macro goals are. If you want a fattier meat or if you want a leaner meat.
Right.
So
I know Debbie has problems without her gallbladder. She has real bad stomach issues if it's too fatty. So, yes.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard. We were talking the other day, and it was like we was talking about, is it hard to eliminate? You know what I mean? And like, I can do this for 30 days. Like, it doesn't bother me. I'm so used to being, at some point, how many times did we do BBB&E? That's restrictive as can be. So what's so hard about fruit and candy and sugar and veggies?
Believe me, I'm right in the middle of BBB&E.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember last year we did the Daniel fast with the church thing, which was basically vegan. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And we did that for 21 days. And while I was ready for it to end, in the beginning, I kind of enjoyed it. It was just a change, you
Yeah.
know.
So
Okay, Steph says here it's not the fruit and vegetables, but the sugar. And Amy's got a really good point, and this is something that people are concerned about with this. Fruits and vegetables we eat today are genetically modified. Fruits are more sugary today and less tart. They are manufactured.
I will say that that's also true with beef, unless you're buying from a farm, grass-fed, grass-finished. Those are also chemically modified animals. I mean, not to whatever. I'm just saying, like, it's true no matter what you're buying. If you're buying it from the grocery store,
But the thing is that the honest truth about everything, we've been genetically modifying our vegetables since the beginning of time.
yeah,
Since we started becoming people in agricultural society, we've been doing that. So you'll have one plant that grows a certain way and tastes a certain way. So
yeah,
you'll basically take that and grow and take that stem off of that or those seeds and grow just those seeds. And it's just one of those things. We've been doing it for a long time to get sweeter and better over time, to get better, bigger harvests, more plentiful things, to get bigger potatoes. We've been doing that before the Industrial Revolution. We've been doing that before chemical plants, and we've been doing that since the beginning of agriculture. So
right.
it's part of evolution. You know, I mean, you got to remember, fruits want us to eat them. They want us to eat the fruit. Plants like broccoli don't want us to eat them, but fruits want us to eat them because then you eat them and spread their seed. That's why, you know, fruits are sweet, broccoli is bitter.
Are you saying the pineapple saying "eat me"?
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
have you ever seen the show Big Chicken or whatever it was, the Super Size Me 2, where the chickens, they're so messed up. You know what I mean? They breed them where they have like giant breasts.
Giant
you know what I
breasts.
mean?
Yeah.
Where they can't, they just kind of wobble around.
Yes.
They fall over and they have heart attacks if something scares them.
Right.
That was
we know
the chicken that I eat because I can't afford the other stuff the farmer ate.
right.
Yeah.
With increasing carbs, if you read Dr. Westman's End Your Carb Confusion, he states in there, in your first introduction to keto, yes, stay 20 total carbs or less. Gradually add to like 50.
Yeah.
If you want to become metabolically healthy, go up to 100 or more. Reincorporate sweet potatoes and fruits and everything. I mean, he talks about all this in his book.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just, this is like another extreme, but it's all good.
I want to touch on Brian's comment here. The thing is yes, foods, vegetables, and such have been engineered for sweetness because, again, we've been doing that since the beginning of agriculture. But the problem with the less minerals in the food has not much to do with engineering. It has to do with monocrop culture. So monocropping is going to suck all the nutrients out of the ground, and you're not putting any of it back in.
Yeah.
I said Dustin's a dork. You're kind of attractive when you're all smart.
He needs that Chris Bear's nerd button.
Yeah.
You know, when you said like 50 carbs, that's where I feel like that's probably where I should be again at some point. But you understand that we got so wrapped up into the weight loss thing that it went from keto until that stalled out. And then it started going into challenges, and then that stalled out a little bit more. And then you start eating, you start shortening your window, and then you start doing one meal a day. And then, you meet your goals, but then you can't maintain that strictness. So then things start coming back, and then you start getting comments like, well, have you done alternate day fasting? It's like, well, okay, what happens after I do alternate day fasting? Do I eat
every 3 days?
Do I eat every third day? You know what I mean? Like at some point you have to just say, it's okay to try something different and reset.
Yeah. Well, we weren't even talking about it at all. It was just kind of brought up, and I'm like, I'm really intrigued by this, especially Cindy, you know this, like over this past year for me, I don't know what caused it. I can't put my finger on it on exactly with my thyroid and the blood work that I've gotten, and just like I need to try something different because I'm just intrigued by it, and maybe I need to just change it up. And I'm getting my blood work here in a month, so it's just the perfect
I
time
know,
to try something different.
right. With you guys, the same as Wendy and Harry. And we're going to wrap this up soon. We've been at this for almost 3 hours. You know, it's going to be interesting to hear the blood work and all of that and see how that goes. You gotta keep everybody posted because, you know, not that I would try it. And Brian's like a hell no when I said, or hell no. What the hell? But yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, we just want the best for you. That's all. So if somebody says something off kilter, it could be because they care and they're confused. Like, what? This is all we've been talked about, you know, all we've been listening to for the last however many years that people have been doing this keto thing or proper human diet thing or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, and it's worked for a lot of people, and it worked for you guys.
Yeah.
And then everybody stalls and everybody gets frustrated.
I think some people get what's the word I want to use? Betrayal. I think some people feel betrayed because of it. Honestly, I really do. But
they probably do, but it's crazy. That's, you know, it's somebody even told Wendy and Harry they need to change their what?
It was just I have to stop worrying about the people who are like, oh my gosh, I can't even watch you.
Honey, I'm gonna tell you, Emily, it is in your face on the videos that you are concerned about what people are going to think. It's all over your face every time.
There's been times
I know I have to stop.
There's been times in the past that I've had to look in preview comments and delete anything bad before she would look at them.
But to make sure you got to know if you're doing this for you.
Yep.
And Dustin, I know you said you got to go, we're going to cut this off. But you got to getting a channel from the get-go. You got to have thick skin because there's going to be those negative comments and there's going to be that garbage going on in the chat. You know who your true friends are and your true followers. Yeah. And don't worry about it.
I know, you're right.
And smile in your videos because you have got such a look of fear on your face sometimes. It's like, she really don't want to do this. That's what it comes across to me. And it's like, what the heck,
Yeah.
So
I just don't like mean people, Cindy. That's my problem.
You don't like what?
Mean people.
Oh,
you don't like mean people.
You know what? You got to toughen up, girl, because there's a lot of them out there.
I know.
And just let it go, because they're still going to be there. It doesn't matter.
Well, there's some people who just go channel to channel and just do that. That's what makes,
Yeah.
They find joy out of other people's sadness.
Dustin's about to go to sleep on us. So
yeah, I know.
No, I'm typing in the chat.
No. All right, you guys. Well, we love you and thank you for letting us be on.
I love you guys and I miss you. When are you coming down? Who?
I know.
Well, can't even get them to come to our meetups in Indy anymore because they hate us.
I know, right?
Justin, that's more my fault. I'm sorry.
No, I still blame James.
No.
It's all right. I'll take it.
You know, you can do no wrong, Emily.
Right.
It's all James.
Yeah, right here. Amy says, ignore the haters.
Yeah. It's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But thanks for popping in, guys. We really
no
missed
problem.
you. Everybody misses you.
Yeah. Well,
So,
we're
Back
here,
in.
and we'll have a new video up in the morning.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right. Thank you,
All
guys.
right.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
Love
you.
you.
Bye.
So, Dustin, thank you
Yes,
so much.
ma'am.
That was fun. I'm glad they came on.
Me too.
And I'm sorry I took up so much time from you today.
That's okay. I just got to run downstairs and get some stuff together for Shannon for the morning, and because I don't think I think she's asleep in there because she sneezed and I sent her a text saying Gesundheit and she didn't even respond, so she's probably in there asleep.
Probably.
showering,
It's like she's
the
got to
back of
get
my
up
office right
early.
here is where the shower is.
All righty. They confuse GMOs with selective breeding thanks to USDA that uses umbrella term genetically modified for both modalities.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been in there that we've been selective breeding fruits and veggies since before 8,000 BCE. So, I mean, it's not a new occurrence. And I think that people are like, it's only, I mean, there's been things like with fruits that we didn't have nearby, like bananas and things like that. So bananas didn't always look the way they do. We selectively bred those to be like the bananas that we have that don't. You don't see banana seeds now, but they used to be almost all seeds. But that's just a thing that we've been doing to make them more edible, to give us more food. I mean, it's it's a survival technique as much as it is palatable, because you want foods to taste better, but you also want them to be more sustainable so we can grow them so we don't starve to death. Because I mean, that's starving to death has been a huge thing for us over the course of human history. Because, you know, I mean, if you didn't catch a buffalo, you didn't catch an elk, you didn't catch a gazelle, you didn't catch whatever, and then there was nothing growing, you were dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, and now we're in a situation where we just have too much abundance. Well, a group of people have abundance, and then there's still always groups who have none. But that's a topic for another story, another channel, another time.
Yes.
But
you know, we wind up getting into these long live streams when we're together. You know that, right?
what is it?
I said when we're together on a live stream, it goes long
Yeah,
all the time.
I'm okay with it. I just
In
really have to
fact,
pee though.
one Saturday when you did a live stream and you had me on your channel, I was so sick that day. You remember this? This was like, it was
2
over a
years
year
ago?
ago.
Yeah.
I was sick. I was just getting into strep and COVID. And
Oh,
it
my
was the
goodness.
next day that I tested positive.
Oh, the
But
longest one I've done.
I wasn't gonna just not do it because I had, you know, I had agreed to do this with you. Rick said, "Wow, you're still going only for a second." Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for joining us, and it's been a wild
I can hang out
ride.
for another
That's
few
for
minutes
sure.
just to make it 3 hours.
Another 2 minutes.
Well, I was going to say, like, the longest stream I've done on my channel was with some of the Lioness girls. We did like a Christmas Eve day live, and we did like 4 hours.
Christy, Ellie.
Yeah, well, it was Christy. I think it was Christy, and I don't think Ellie was a part of it, but it was me and Christy and Aaron. Not Booby Goats, Aaron.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I haven't seen Christy or Aaron around in a while. I don't know if they're still doing anything or not.
I see. I saw
People come and go.
Christy. I saw Christy is going to be on Dr. Nelson's coming up soon. Anyway, I will be back Tuesday with Hope and Andy. It's a special live stream. They're better on Tuesdays. Wednesday with Brian, and next Friday with Harry Carver.
Cool.
So,
I don't know if
yeah.
I don't think I know who that is.
My Terrific Life.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea, and I
She's
feel
always
bad about
in.
that because like I still find channels, like I found a Facebook a person the other day, 250,000 like subscribers on her Facebook thing. Never heard of her before. I'm like, what? And she's been doing it for years, and I'm like, you find people, they come out of the woodwork.
And on the other side of that, real quick, we got 70 seconds. Andy made me aware of a girl that had started out like a few months ago Started out with 100 and some views. Overnight went to 9,000, 10,000 views on one video.
Nice.
No, I don't know. It's talking
Well,
that it wasn't done
it's-
legally.
Well, I think
As long
that
enough for
can
me to
happen
make
because
it.
I mean you don't have to have any subscribers to have a video go viral. You know,
Oh, I
and
know.
9,000 really isn't viral, but it's good for a new channel.
Yep. She only has like 550 subscribers.
Yeah, most of my videos now get maybe my long form or lives usually get about 200 views.
I don't. Nobody likes me. So
We'll
it's
go
okay.
eat worms.
It's all good. That's right. All right. Good night,
Nobody
everybody.
likes me. Everybody hates me. So I guess
Yes,
I'll
I'll
go
go
eat
eat
some worms.
worms. I know that song.
All right. Love
Good
you,
night.
Cindy. Love you guys in the chat.
Love
Good
you
to see you
too.
guys. Had a lot of fun. 3 hours flies by, but I got to pee or I'm going to be floating out of here.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.